welcome to the Beetle and Grimm's Home Shopping Network. Today, Shipping Goblin George here is gonna let you know about the amazing selection of officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons jewelry that we've made available.
Yes, Waterdeep shiny faction tokens, shiny dragon coins, oh, shiny shark medallion.
They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Oh, and here's an update. As a special offer for today only, if we don't sell 10 pieces by the end of this commercial, George and I will both be killed.
Seriously?
Not to worry. 10 very reasonably priced pieces of D&D jewelry is not a problem. I'm sure no one wants us to die. How much money you got on you?
Oh, bones, lint, more bones.
Come on, $15 for 3 dragon pieces. We get the ball rolling.
Oh, okay. Ooh, more bones. $15.
There you go.
I was saving that for lunch.
Oh, sale number 1, baby. Here we go. Dam's broken. Let's go. Run!
Lansing.
Go, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello.
We're both from Michigan.
I am.
I'm from
Hello.
Detroit.
Welcome to the madness of the wrap-up play. My name's Joe. I would have been your DM, but I'm joined today by a bunch of wonderful people, guests, future guests, just other random assorted people that we know that we've asked to jump on. We are going to be going through all things Tomb of Annihilation, past, and also some things that will be coming up in the future as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. Big thank you to our supporters, Beetle and Grim, for all their ongoing support with the channel. And big thanks to Gale Force 9 for sponsoring Tomb of Annihilation as well. And yeah, so how are we all doing?
Doing good.
We're doing good.
Been a busy, fun week.
We decided to start a little bit early because, you know, we've been chatting, we've been just enjoying the first sips of a cold beer. Alan has to run off, so we wanted to make sure that we kind of get him back on air. He's been showing us some fantastic artwork that's coming soon. You will get to see it soon.
Horrifying stuff, yay!
Yeah. I really like it. Again, I need to get this on the timetable because I really want to play it. I don't care if I'm DMing it or playing it, but I've got to play it.
Man, if we can get travel worked out, like I might be looking at London in the fall.
You've mentioned. I think we need to have something. I think it could be the first mansion game, maybe. Let's see what we can arrange.
If you haven't already, crack open your drinks.
That's easy.
I got coffee with cracking coffee in it, so hold on, I gotta get mine.
The deal is every time Dave mispronounces someone's username, you have to take a drink.
Oh, that's easy. We'll be under the table in no time. That will not take long at all.
No.
It's hilarious.
Who have we got that's already viewed?
That is Jamie from Level Up Dice, and I'm about to.
Hi, Jamie.
Nice. I don't know what my name's alright. I thought it was going to be Father Pavel from our Basin game.
Yeah.
I will be in the Basin game soon.
I jumped in as you were doing that,
Nice.
so I didn't get to actually say hello.
Hey. Yes.
You know, Joe, I got my
Hi, Jamie.
Origins Tomb of Annihilation cup here in honor.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should we show what we're drinking, or
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, We did.
So I can literally walk next to a brewery next door. This is usually on tap, and they're finally are canning this porter.
Wow.
So I don't have a brewery next door.
It's literally, I can hit it with a rock from my door. I live in Milwaukee now. I'm originally from Detroit. I live in Milwaukee.
Bring me beer. Bring me beer.
Spoiled. As Drew mentioned yesterday, spotted cow out here. If I bring it to a convention, it trades 2 to 1. So I can give one spotted cow 6-pack and get 2 of whatever the fuck I want. It's awesome. Oh yeah, can we?
Have they asked you to stop throwing rocks at them?
No, I'm friends with the guy. I couldn't swear on yesterday's show on Gary Con. Am I allowed to swear here?
Yeah, we can swear. If we can drink, we can swear.
Just don't fucking swear.
Fucking not say a word.
I dropped 3 F-bombs. And the mod was like, dude, tell Drew to stop swearing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Fuck you, mods.
This is supposed to only be rated PG-13. Like, I was born in the 80s. That's like Monster Squad language. We're fine with it.
It just proves that sales is a switch and acting apparently isn't.
I was doing the Australian shift last night for GaryCon, and before we started, they said to us, look, it's supposed to be a PG, which for us is like, it's the same as our MA, so like don't graphically kill anyone.
Well, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me until the morning of. I was like, guys, 1, you've watched my streams. What the fuck are you thinking? 2, why in the fuck is anyone letting their kids watch my show? You're a bad parent.
It's D&D. It's the middle of the afternoon. It's open to everyone.
How are you going to tell a bunch of Australians not to swear? That's the other thing.
I'm wearing a hat that says rap fan. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm pretty sure Eric was like, yeah.
Literally a nation known for saying fuck snakes.
Gary Con's PG, but fuck that. I'm pretty sure what Eric said as soon as he started his stream yesterday.
Did you see my ad that I put out? I literally bashed him for all the shit that he sent me. It's like, he's like, make sure you're saying you're on Gary Con. Here's all the ads you got to put out. But joking aside, they're actually super fucking cool, and it's great to do it. But I've known those guys for a while. I was like, dude, you guys have known me for like 4 years at least. Are you out of your mind? Like, why would you do this to me? And then I told Drew, and Drew's like, that's not fucking happening.
So, Jamie, I saw part of your game earlier. What was that game you were playing on GaryCon?
Yeah. It was called Through the Breach. It's the weird miniatures RPG.
Yeah.
And
because they had different cards.
Really cool.
Yeah, it was like cards and dishing out, and
that's right.
So
of course, they asked the guy who works for a dice company to come and play the role-playing game that uses cards.
Yeah.
Makes
See, at least I did it the right way. I want to use some dice, so I want you to come and. But then, I want the paint. So we could paint dice, maybe.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I can.
Dice.
Fortunately, I'm a very talented person. I have painted dice before. It's good fun. But it was a really good game actually, because the GM kind of flipped things on their head. So usually in Malifaux, you play as sort of the human outcasts living in this wasteland surrounded by monsters. And instead, he got us to play monsters that had to infiltrate the human city and stop them from opening a thing that would damage monster culture. Just while we're talking about 80s movies, and
not all that.
It was super fun. It was great.
Cool. Now, I'm gonna.
If you ever get the chance,
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I do love lots of different games. What we're trying to do at Badgers is do more variety anyway. So it's just, as you'll find out later, we don't have enough time in the year anymore. So we're getting jam-packed. But you'll see some of that later. I want to whiz back to Alan because I know he's got to like shoot off in a bit. Tell us more about, just quickly, when is the book coming out? When is the new adventure coming out? Well, you can get it now on D&D Adventures League, but when is the printed edition?
There are some people across the Adventurers League world that have really come to enjoy those Caius adventures. The worm that walks, the undead god, the undead deity, and that was a gamble for me. I put out the first adventure intending it to be a one-shot. People loved it. They really seem to enjoy the lore. So now there are 4 of them, 3 of which are available on DM's Guild. You can search for my name. They'll pop up. Window to the Past is the first one. It's all cross-linked. The fourth one I did some initial development on and then turned it over to Oliver Darkshire to finish, for lack of a better term, fleshing it out. And he put a bunch of layers of really creepy undulating flesh on that adventure, and I love it. It's full of wiggly doom.
Nice.
The book is currently in layout. We did encounter some hurdles, just because 2020 is the year that keeps on giving, and there are echoes still, unfortunately. But I'm hoping to have my proof copy probably the middle or so of May. So basically, as soon as I have my proof copy, within about 2 weeks, it should be up and available for sale. It's the hardcover has a bunch of brand new art assets. It's got some more love from John Latta, who's done a bunch of art for me already. Some new cartography coming in. Full adventure layout instead of the basic like black and white that I did for the first one.
And this is going to be on Drive-Thru RPG or DM's Guild?
Okay. So it probably won't show up in the drive-through search bar. You'll probably have to go straight to DM's Guild to get it, just because of licensing.
And
the whole thing's...
And that's print on demand, isn't it?
Say again?
Is that print on demand? So you can buy the hardcover? Wow, fantastic. Right,
yep.
Okay.
It'll be print on demand, and then we'll be doing digital copies as well. Just because there's that fourth adventure in there. It was originally intended as a bonus throw-in, but we are going to separate and make it available for individual sale.
Yeah. No,
Isn't waiting for your proof like the most painful yet best Christmas ever?
It really is, man.
I'm waiting on 2 right now, and it's so painful.
Yeah, we did some Waterdeep projects for print on demand, and then we did some Eberron stuff. And
nice! I love Eberron.
Just waiting for those to show up was just agony.
Like is it going to be socks or a car?
Yeah.
But man, like people love those things. It's creepy doom, and if I get to weird people out and they enjoy it, life is good.
Dragon Spire's asking what the title of it is again.
So the individual adventures are currently out there. Window to the Past is the first one. The second one is Those That Came Before, and the third is Trust and Understanding. We haven't put out the title for the hardcover yet, just because it does kind of bind a whole bunch of stuff together. Once I have my proof copy, I'll be a lot more vocal. I mean, behind the curtain, like we've been pushed back about 5 months on this, so I'm hesitant to get too excited about the early advertising.
Speaking of things people love, that pirate ship is amazing.
Yeah, that's right. The Falling Star, the WizKids one.
Yep. Very, very nice.
That's the unpainted one, is it? Or is that the painted?
That's the painted one.
Oh, okay.
Yep. My room is full of all sorts of gaming history. Pretty much everything from the D&D catalog is on this wall behind me.
Yeah, I think the first time I got talking to Alan on camera, it was like, I'm just looking past you. I'm looking at everything I wish I had. It's like, oh my god, he's got that one. He's got that one.
Walked away so you could have a clearer view. I know.
You need 2 webcams. You know those webcams when I say look at my cat or look at my hamster. You just need one in the bookcase. Just put it there.
Right.
I should put a camera in my game closet, just so you can see my stuff. Have it on pan. Nothing else. That's all that's in there. Game porn.
Josh, exactly. Yeah, game porn. I mean, Josh and Jamie both have the same thing. Look, they got racks and racks of bookcases filled with games.
Yeah.
I mean, that you don't have enough hours in your lifetime to play all those games.
You do.
It's just.
It's not as bad as my unpainted miniature. That is way worse.
Well, I'm helping you with that.
Not as bad as anyone's unpainted miniatures.
Oh my god! The plastic shame, the plastic metal shame.
Yeah.
Eric, we'll get you back on the brush off, so we can help you with that. We can help you with that.
I would love to do an airbrushing episode. So I used to teach photorealistic airbrushing, and
that would be cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, actually,
everybody would need an airbrush. That's the problem, and it's loud.
That's the idea. The sound is.
I got a straw and some acrylic paint. Did that work?
Actually, funny, really good for doing blood effects is blowing through a straw. It's really good for doing blood effects at miniatures. Or annoying your significant other. That's another really good thing for straws. So, Alan, before you jet, I actually have a question. So, you're doing stuff for 5e primarily on GM's Guild.
Yep.
Are you doing any products for other systems out there? Is 5e your mainstay right now since you work for AL?
Well, I'm a freelance contractor, so I don't work for Wizards in house. But I've done work on other product lines. I've done some Shadow of the Demon Lord, some Star Trek
I
Adventures.
love Shadows.
Shadows. Oh, it's such a good system.
It's probably one of my favorite like grit and grind fantasy games of all time.
Yeah, Eric told me about that, and I was looking into it. I'd be up for doing something.
Initiative. It's the whole reason to play that game.
Yeah, the initiative system's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done Shadow, Star Trek Adventures. I closed out season 1 of their organized play. That was a blast.
Such a great system too. Damn, man.
There was some Pathfinder first edition mixed in there, just like fan publication, nothing directly for fun. A touch of some 13th Age that I did with another group of friends. Little things here and there, right? A couple other contracts that maybe will come to fruition in the next few months. Who knows? But yeah, that is kind of my core.
My favorite question of all time for people who are developers and designers: if money was absolutely no limit, what's your dream publication to do? You gotta have a dream project.
Honestly, something Dragonlance. Like that's what got me into fantasy stuff.
Me and this guy here too, big time.
And my runners up were Ravenloft and Dark Sun. So it was Dragonlance, Ravenloft, Dark Sun. In 4th edition, I got to write some organized play for Dark Sun.
Oh, nice.
I got to do some of the Ravenloft development for Adventurers League when we released that to go along with Curse of Strahd a couple years back. And now I'm kind of working my way up the line. Who knows? I would love to say that it's coming out, but I am but a contractor.
and Alan's books, the links are in live chat now, so do check those out on Twitch.
Do you travel for conventions, bud?
Steve
I feel like
posted them.
Until 2020 hit, I was doing 10 to 13, 14 conventions a year.
If you are going to be at Gamehole Con or at GaryCon, I'm in Milwaukee now, so I'm originally from Michigan. Drew is also from Michigan, but him and I travel with Norse Foundry and Chessex all the time. We work for them. But if you're going to be out there, I should see if I can get you into the Gamehole. Have you seen that place?
I have. I'm actually working on a project with Alex right now.
He's such a good dude, and that is the biggest collection of like jealousy I think I've ever had.
I take it as a badge of honor. I had to sell some stuff that I bought at a local yard sale. That turns out it was all like sealed and like great product, but I have a reference library. Like the wall of stuff behind me, I use it. So the sealed stuff doesn't really hold value. I put it up in one of our trade groups that we're both members of, and he got a hold of me. He's like, "That looks beautiful, man." I'm like, "Well, Alex, are you telling me you need this one?" He's like, "No, I've got like 5 already, but that's."
He's a true collector, man. He's such a good guy. That's awesome to work with him. He's one of my favorite people to work with in tabletop. He's just such a sincere guy and actually gives a shit about the people who work with him.
Yes. And what's been really cool working with him is he's eager to gather feedback, which isn't something that I run into with a lot of other creators.
That's how his convention has grown double every single year, and it's the cleanest and easiest ran convention I've ever been to. Like, you want a game, you walk up to the board or you walk up to the digital display and they're like, these are the slots that are open and here's the tickets that have been given back. It's just you're done. And it's as it's grown, that's never changed ever. Such a good system.
I've got more people coming in. Eric, have you ever this is a question to everyone who's not in the UK. Have you ever come to a UK convention with your various businesses and everything?
2 of them. I was there for. I was actually in an art show, and there's a convention going on. Sale something or another. It's a big miniature convention. Sale. I'll have to look it up now. But that was a while ago. And then I was at Gen Con when it was out there when they did the Gen Cons all over the globe, and I was at that
tour.
Too.
Yeah.
I did UK Games Expo in 2019.
What's the miniature convention called?
Yeah.
Oh, I nearly went to that one.
We almost met.
Yeah, we almost met before then. Well, I'm saying it now because it seems more exciting. But you were in Birmingham. But yeah, I mean, I had to make a choice. It was Games Expo or Dragon Meet in London.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, there's so much stuff going on.
Made it to the UK, much as I would love to in any capacity.
But I think Alex was there with Level Up Dice in 2019 at Game Expo, actually.
He was.
in Birmingham,
Yeah, Level
yeah.
Up Dice came in 2019, and I've heard stories, and it was apparently a ball, and they did like just all of Europe that they could get to, which was pretty fantastic. But I was not with the company yet at that point, so I missed out.
You missed out.
Hopefully
That's what I mean. The next conventions, especially the international ones, they're going to be huge. I mean, the after parties are going to be. You need a lot of just, I don't know, Red Bull the next day just to keep yourself going. It's going to be crazy. So we're gonna let's see who else is going on. So Jamie, how was your game at GaryCon? And are you back on GaryCon this weekend?
I am. So my game at GaryCon that I played last night was great fun. It was a Through the Breach, the Weird Miniatures Infinity. Not Infinity. Sorry, Malifaux role-playing game.
Yep.
Super fun, all card-based. I was playing a bit of a huckster, and strutting myself around town. But in fact, I was a horrible undead monster in disguise. And yeah,
the best.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Malifaux has amazing minis.
It does. I'm a big fan of the miniatures line, and now of the role-playing game too. As for
my boss is here.
Yes, Alan's got to run, unfortunately. But thanks for stopping in.
Cheers, Alan.
And
drop your contact
nice
info,
meeting you, dude.
Also, big thanks for your time on Tomb of Annihilation, mate. It was really good to have you on, and also the wording that you wrote up for me after you'd actually finished as well. That was much appreciated and not expected. So thank you so much.
I'm a huge nerd, man. Keep it up. The streams are a ton of fun to watch. So keep spreading the passion, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Cheers, Alan.
Thank you. Take care, dude.
Be good. Wait, Adam, how you doing?
Hello.
Adam, come in. Come in, Adam. Shall I write it? No, Adam.
Is that a monster in me in the background, or is that another one of those like owlbears in the background? The blue one. It looks like the monster in me.
On who?
She's hiding. Yeah, what is the blue one?
I think that's an octopus.
It's an
octopus. It's an octopus.
Oh, it is an octopus.
He's gone.
Okay.
He's
the
gone.
blue is like almost the same as monster in me.
Have you just resigned yourself to sitting on the floor?
Yes.
No, my boss is here. I can't let him know that I'm slacking off work. I'm actually an octopus instead.
That should work. That should work.
Yeah, your secret's safe.
Good coverage. Good coverage.
Yeah, he won't notice.
Good job.
That I'm
We're
here.
Resident alien right there.
Very subtle.
No, I work with Adam on Runelanders podcast.
He's back now. He left.
Oh, he's back.
For the whole, I kept trying to tell you, you're sitting on the floor. He's not
Pretty sure
there.
he's gonna know your background. Just turn the green screen on, or you're screwed. Make it look like the Oasis. Just change it.
The Oasis.
No, he knows I'm here.
He's already privately messaged her.
What are you doing here? You're
What
doing
are you
extra
doing
hours.
here? It's like, oh no. It's like when you tell your boss, I'm sick, and then you both show up at the movies at the same time.
I would just be like, I'm hungover. I'm not coming in. Click.
It's good when you can have real talk with your boss.
Hi, Adam.
It's better than lying, because then when I lie, it sounds real.
Adam, how you doing?
Yeah.
Adam, can you hear us?
People right now are lying about COVID shots.
You can.
Oh, I'm so sick. You got your first shot. Shut up. It's the second. We all know it.
Adam, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh yeah, good man. So this Adam runs a podcast called Runelanders, which Lee is part of, and which Cork. I'm not sure where Cork is on the screen. Cork is down there. Him. He and I are going to be a part of that as well. We're gonna have a go.
Yes, coming up this spring,
Nice.
we're doing a bunch of mini series and always looking for players. Hint, hint.
Nice.
Joe, it is amazing how much you look like my mate Hamish. It is. Honestly, it is ridiculous. Apart from the green hair and the fact that he's younger. But
If it wasn't lockdown, it would be blue, but it's kind of like just died out now. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but it is ridiculous. I had lunch with him the other day and told him all about you, and So he's got to check it out. I'm sure you have a stalker now. But
one more
just
stalker.
another
one
Friday.
more.
It's a stalker.
just another. Oh, another one. Eh?
So let's pick on someone else. So Ryan from Session Zero Clothing, how are you doing, sir?
Doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm just checking to see if you've recovered from yesterday's 2-dragon combat.
Yeah, I mean it was fine. I took a fireball directly to the face, point blank.
Nice.
With
It's more like a
gas pad as
flamethrower.
well.
Yeah.
Only way to do it.
It's fine.
You're gonna catch a fireball. Use your mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you took it.
Yeah.
You took it. Well done.
At least you're not like dumping them on top of your own feet like I've done before in private games, setting fire to your whole pie.
I think after
I have no idea what you mean.
I think after 3 Pathfinder sessions, I'm starting to finally just barely understand what I'm doing. That's pretty cool.
PF2, right?
Yeah.
I love PF2, man. The more I play it, the more I love it.
Big fan. Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
It brought back the old face ripper stuff where you got like margins of success and failure, which I really enjoy because I find not so much for the GM, but for the players, it helps them decide when they're being really successful or really shitty more frequently than a 1 and a 20, which I really enjoy.
And
So
what's
yeah,
cool
the
is
crit with
Dave,
10 over thing is really nice.
The 10
Dave
over
lets
thing's
us
great.
lets us be really shitty on our own, which is really cool.
Right.
I don't have to do anything to
We don't do that
that.
enough.
Drew's famous for that though. He will roll a knowledge check for himself, even if he actually knows, to roll to decide if his character knows. He's the only motherfucker I know
limited
that
one.
does that. I'm like, why are you doing that? You just don't know it. He's like, no, I want to see if I would actually know it. I'm like,
We're talking about Drew. Are we allowed to mention anything? Drew, are we allowed to mention anything?
Oh,
are we allowed to talk about that?
No, I mean it's not a it wasn't really a secret until
Really?
like the time has passed. Yeah. No. What Dave is referring to is I was supposed to be on one of their brush off shows, but I got 5 days of work on Star Trek Picard, so I had to push it off to.
He turned me, Steve, and Joe down to be on Star Trek.
Unbelievable.
Well, not to be in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
This.
But,
Everybody was like, "Fuck you."
I'm surprised we invited him back to become someone's vehicle.
I wouldn't invite him back. That's crazy.
I was super pissed because like I worked Tuesday and then Wednesday we went dark because there was a COVID scare. It's like, okay, everybody week off. I was like, God damn it. I was like, well, I was gonna message Dave again. I was like, hey, I can do it now, but I already had Eric fill the spot, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
As soon as I got my minis in, I took a picture and sent them to Drew. Him and I, so for those who weren't here last time, him and I were on together. Him and I have known each other for over 20 years. So immediately I'm like, Drew, look at all of my toys. And
It's like, oh, so you already bought the minis? Okay, yeah, I definitely won't come back now. It's fine.
Mine's down here somewhere as well. I don't think I'll put it back. Don't put it back.
We just all playing Go Get These now?
I can do my Earth
I really love painting these.
You mentioned painting, so Jamie also runs another stream, which is called the Gazetteers. If I've done that right, which is a painting stream.
Oh, nice. Did you pronounce that correctly?
Did I?
He did pronounce that correctly. I don't think there's a wrong way to pronounce a word that you don't know.
Yes, there is. you haven't watched enough of my shows.
Apparently, you've never been to Denmark. That's an entire language that's pronounced incorrectly.
But yeah, so Jamie has been really kind and invited us onto his show. We're going to do some painting there.
Absolutely.
Mainly because
it's really good fun. We basically just pick a theme and we paint whatever we want.
Yeah. This. I want to paint this.
And we vaguely try and shoehorn it into that theme. Yeah, that guy absolutely. He would. We're doing a Wings episode in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
If you want to be part of that.
Isn't that guy?
There you go. Done.
Nice. That's canon.
Yep.
Should teach you some airbrushing tricks to cut your paint time in half.
But we paint miniatures and we talk about the gaming news of the week. So
Nice.
we pretty much scour the internet and find all the juiciest bits of gaming gossip and
cool.
throw in a bit of pop culture. It's good fun.
Yeah.
That beholder is very
the next
cool.
one I want to tackle.
Yeah, I ordered one of these. I drunk ordered a beholder and woke up the next morning to an email going, Congratulations, Sober Joe. You've ordered yourself a beholder.
It's 7 stops away.
I want to play
I
a
have an eye
beholder as a
stalk here at the moment.
Yeah.
Just AI stock. What did you do to the rest of him?
Well, he comes with detachable eye stalks.
Yes.
Yeah, the spell effects, aren't they?
Pull them off.
So I was actually on stream a couple of weeks ago, and someone said, "How do you do that effect with clear plastic?" And I was like, "I'll grab an eye stalk and show you."
Yeah.
Nice.
So the rest of the beholder, who knows when I'll get to him, but he's got an eye stalk.
Joe, what mini is that? Like, that's a beholder, but that's not the same one that I have. Which
I think it's the
Zombie.
undead one.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
zombie beholder.
Yeah, that's a zombie beholder.
Oh, shit, they have the undead one?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's got all
Zombies,
like
zombies really cool.
That's
all like the lips
another
are all like
purchase that's
broken
gonna
up
happen.
and stuff. Yeah,
I'm looking for undead sharks. If anybody knows where to find undead shark models out
God,
here.
no, don't tell him
In the
that
world?
information.
No, there is, isn't there?
If anyone knows, I need undead sharks. I'm painting them as ghouls for
Free-
my
3D
Sky
printed
Pulse
ones, yeah.
campaign.
No.
Reaper's got
Sharknado.
some like man sharks that you could very easily convert to undead. I'd
I
say.
need great white undead sharks. Okay.
What we need
I'm
to
looking
do?
for
what-
anyone in the audience, you let me know.
I think.
I used to work at a fishing museum, and I can get you whale bones.
We definitely missed a beat on
Do
this
something
one.
with that.
We've definitely missed something because we've got like Drew and Eric, who's on my left and right. You should better see this. We've had Jamie on. So all of these guys have been just recently playing. I mean, hours away on GaryCon, but no badges. We should have been doing this on badges. If Charles Miller can go on and sing a couple of songs, then we can go on and have a late night time,
Eric,
have a beer, and have a
Eric, if
chat.
you didn't click that mini that Ryan just posted, you fucking should.
Yeah, very much so.
Is that Reaper? Oh, he's got it.
I should not tell you this because I'm gonna be the one having to deal with this.
I'm gonna have to buy like 4 of these.
Oh wow.
Being a professional
Yeah,
enabler is easy. It's no worries. Keep
Same,
showing
man.
them all.
I'm peer pressure us. That is really awesome. I can't wait to paint my ghoul sharks that spit out ghouls' body parts that infect people with ghoul fever.
Nice.
So the GaryCon story is really interesting, Dave. So in Australia, we actually had one guy sort of organising the Australian night. We're like the night shift for GaryCon. And he said to me, "Do you want to come on and run a game?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then he stuck me into like 5 games as a player as well. And I was like, "This is a little more than I signed up for as a weekend, but we'll see what we can do." But had I known that you wanted in, I'm sure we could have squeezed you in there.
It's GaryCon. Of course I want in. It's like Christmas. Of course I want.
Great.
Yeah. No. I don't know. We just messed up. It would have been nice. We are. I won't say it on live, but yeah, we're trying to do something. We're trying to sort something out. But
cool.
Maybe
Wait,
next.
Wait, you want to do something with GameHole?
No, just GaryCon. Just
Gary, fuck GameHole, just Gary.
Because we see. Here's the thing: when we are on in the UK, 9 p.m. It's your afternoon in the States.
Do you want me to put you in contact with the person you need? I'll do it right now.
Go on then, get them on here. Get them on here. And just change the channel. Put us on Gaxmore main stage right now. And we'll have some fun.
And just come on in.
Send me the logo. I'll put it on.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
When's
Facebook, buddy?
But you know what? BadgerCon. I did think about that the other day. I don't know.
You can do the whole "we don't need no stinkins badges" thing. That'd be great.
That's the new sticker. Yeah. The old blazing saddles. I do like the reference.
Yeah.
How you doing, Wayne?
How you doing, Wayne? Can you hear us?
Hi, Wayne.
Wayne.
Hello,
Wayne.
everyone. I can hear you.
Where's that bottle of
What's
Jameson?
up, dude?
Yeah.
My boy.
There.
There it is. There it is.
Now,
Nice.
last time we had a party, Wayne unfortunately was stuck in the waiting room for 2 hours, wearing a unicorn onesie, doing shots. And when the time it came on, he was completely out of it.
I was out of it.
So I did promise to get him on very early.
The This is
I was
hard to
fine with it.
watch.
I got a dungeon crate out of it. Drink away.
Yeah. He gave everyone dungeon crates. He was
Y'all
yeah.
were showing off minis, and I only have one mini, and Wayne sent it to me from Dungeon Crate. Thank you so much.
What one is it?
Dude,
I
yeah,
don't.
Wayne, you sent me an
Literally
owl bear
right
in the
here.
box you sent me. We had just started the Agents of Edgewater. I was like, I got hoots. It's good timing.
I'll
It
let you,
even
Wayne.
sends cards, personalized cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys.
It was
I gotta
awesome.
hang out with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you again for that.
I had a great time on that show. So
Yeah, man.
My other pencil I accidentally broke
I've still got
throwing it
mine,
on
yeah.
the table at the beginning of one of my interviews.
really,
No.
Yeah, my
I was
wand
like,
of
I got this
writing.
awesome pencil, and I went like this, and I went.
I don't have either of mine anymore. They're somewhere with my children. And
Oh, you're screwed. You have kids. You don't have anything anymore. You don't
mate, no, I own nothing.
called them little thieves.
They take all the fun stuff.
Yeah, literally, as soon as I opened it, they were like, want that, and just gone.
Yeah, my husband stole my beholder pin. It's not mine anymore. Or not my beholder. Gelatinous cube, that's one.
Oh, the gelatinous cube.
Dungeon
My
Crate
son's
is truly the
favorite
best.
What was that, Josh?
That's the Dungeon Crate's truly the best, Wayne.
Thanks.
Yeah, Josh does.
You guys been
you
doing
do
it
a
for
proper
now.
review, don't you?
Cookbook,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Cookbook, yeah.
the cocktails
Yeah,
as well, right?
That was
The-
fun.
the-
We had that in the
Great.
works
Love the
for like a
cookbook.
year, but we wanted to do it to where the fans submitted the recipes, which I thought was cool. So everybody that's in there is like a friend or a subscriber or just somebody that was a fan of Dungeon Crate that followed us and that submitted the recipes. So hopefully we'll have more out.
And
But,
and
yeah.
there's a recipe in there. The bacon. The bacon with the chili
the
powder.
firecrackers.
Yeah, I
Oh,
made
so
those.
good.
That is amazing.
Wayne, you let me know if you want more recipes.
Oh yeah, we should do one. We should do a Band of Badgers cookbook.
Every time you say badgers, I think you've got to take a shot.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yes. Hello.
First, you're gonna need a
It's gonna be
smoker, everybody.
all
First, you're gonna need a
sausages.
smoker.
Yeah.
Only sausages.
Yeah.
Got
No,
a smoker.
yeah.
I do
The
too.
I found 2 extra stickers that I didn't realize were there when I was doing the unboxing video that I made because they were inside the initiative pad. And I was like opening it up. I'm like,
bonus.
wait, what? Because I found the cobalt pin. I was like, that's awesome. But then I saw the sticker. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I told you. I was like, there's a yin yang
It's
cobalt.
gonna go on the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
guess
know,
it's
and I
gonna
didn't
be-
know what the hell you were talking about. This
idiot.
Slayer
Yeah.
sticker.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck? This is amazing. Like,
Yeah, I
lost
got
my
bunch of
shit. I
those.
was
We
so
did.
happy.
That was our first T-shirt we did. It was our mix-up T-shirt. We did
Nice.
that one, and we did one that had DC on it instead of DK for Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
We do a mashup on that too.
Who do you
Is this
print your
still
shirts
available?
through?
Can you buy that? Can you buy that shirt still, Wayne?
Yeah. We have. I think we go through Nito Shop. We've got a.
Nito?
Couldn't really print our own here or whatever, but the Nito Shop shirts. It's not this one. This is from a rival subscription box, believe it or not.
Yeah. I have that shirt. It's in my closet.
Yeah, right. RPG Crate had this one, but no, the other ones that we have are through Nito Shop, and they are. I ordered pretty much like 5 or 6 of them to test them out, and those shirts are so nice. I've had them for 4 years, I think. Super soft and really the
canvas
printing
print
is
is
awesome.
it the
So
canvas, the company of the shirt?
yeah, well, let me see here. The company of the shirt is the Nito Links, and we have a Dungeon Crate shop
Nice.
right there, because then you can get like that imprint on anything, like on a baby onesie or a dog sweater or some. You know, they have a whole bunch of shit that you can buy and put it on. So I was like,
Nice,
ooh.
dude.
You can actually put baby onesies on dogs too.
Oh, you could.
Double duty. And dog
Dang,
food.
you man. Imagine if I tried to put that on Cade, he would have beat my ass.
Get out.
Yeah. Man. Oh, yeah, but I should put I could maybe.
There you go. I've whacked a link in into chat in Twitch chat.
Yes.
Sweet.
So speaking of fun stuff, everybody, how many of you guys know who 88 Riddles is?
I don't know who he is. I haven't spoken to him, But he does the artwork on the dice
I'm gonna
trays.
show us. I'm gonna show us right now. So 88 Riddles does custom dice boxes. Basically, he works with Elderwood and 2 other companies, and he gets the dice boxes from them, and he custom hand paints them. So for Fenrir Rising, he did the EQ logo with the wolf logo in gold, right? My favorite, and I've seen yours too, Drew. My favorite.
Yeah, he showed me what he's done with it.
Is this, and it's actually got a bullet hole where my pinky is.
Nice.
Metallic, this is mahogany, but he does custom ones. His website on Instagram is awesome. He's not even telling me to pimp this. I just am. They are so well done. Like, as someone who does like pro paint stuff, I was like, dude, these are way better than I expected these to be. He's like, what are you expecting? Garbage? I'm like, I was expecting a guy at home painting dice boxes, handing them out to people or selling them to people. I go, but these are really good. He's like, thank you. But they're solid. I'm super impressed by him, and he's done a bunch of really crazy ones. But Drew, do you want to tell him what yours looks like?
So, if any of you are watching our show, the Fenrir Rising, it's our cyberpunk show, and I'm playing a nomad, and my van is our band van, but it's one of the cars out of the Nomad's motor pool, and I keep upgrading it. Well, I painted it like the A-Team van, so he is painting my dice box in the same style.
It looks so good.
Awesome.
Like, I am
so good.
super excited to get it.
We got to decide what Nyx and Novas look like so we can get them boxes.
I mean,
just giving me such an urge to play like a barbarian who's just Mr. T.
Right? PF2 barbarians are hot. Let's go. I'm in.
They are, yeah, right? I painted a full mess with Galarion. Yeah, it'd be great.
Oh my god.
You cast each one. What character class would each one be in 18?
Are we excited for the D&D movie here? Is anyone here excited for all the crap that's been coming out for that?
I don't know.
Like, they have their bar is really low. They don't have to do much better than a Snyder cut
now,
to be.
Hang on though. Here's the thing: the Dungeons and Dragons movies. I'm pretty sure the budget has been going down since they started making them.
If you say any of those movies are good, you're off all the shows.
No.
It sounds like
I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying they've been getting better.
Yeah, but what you got to think about what D&D does. Now D&D take older modules, change the rules, and release them as 5th edition. So surely
We're
it's just
a campaign setting book. So
they're going to take the original movie, the good one, which had Jimmy from Smallville in it, and take that script and do it now.
Heard what the plot is?
The cast is awesome.
It's not awesome.
They're supposedly doing a riff on the TV show, the cartoon.
Oh, wow.
That's the plot.
I thought that was.
I don't know.
But I
don't know if you can ever top Blue Arnold Vosloo though.
Yeah, with the thingy in his ear. Yeah.
Yeah, this
but
dude.
Like,
you can't.
straight
Yeah,
to
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Bruce Wayne.
A live-action Dungeons Dragons cartoon.
He looks like a sideshow circus character. It's fucking horrifying.
He does, doesn't he? He's like a very
I don't know
strange
who-
creature.
Whoever was
like, what,
playing D&D back in the day when that cartoon came out, though, I didn't know anybody that liked it because we were all a little bit older. No, we didn't. We thought it was completely like, this isn't what this is. Oh, it has nothing to do with it. It would have been a good cartoon on its own if it was called something else. But then again, there's like, my wife really likes it, and some, I think, people that weren't necessarily playing but were a little younger, kind of got into it. And if that inspired them to play later, awesome. But
great.
You want to remake that into a movie? Man, there's so many better D&D movies that aren't called Dungeons and Dragons out there right now. I think the bar is hugely high.
I grew up on
Lord of the Rings.
Animes out there right now on Netflix that are better D&D movies than whatever they can make.
Yes. Just to say
come
that.
on.
How many of you
I grew
have
up on
seen
Warhammer Fantasy, so looking at that was always like, those funny little people.
Drew, I know you've seen it. The guy who did the animation himself for Drist and Wolfgar and all them, the animated fight between Drist and Artemis. The guy drew it.
Like the little black.
Why is that not an animated series yet? For
I
fuck's
know.
sake? That's like one of the biggest names in D&D.
I've been asking that for a while. If someone, like, when someone asks me what the dream project that I could be a part of is, it's either that or there's a book series called the Threshold series, written by a guy named Peter Clines. I would love to be a part of that, like acting wise. But fucking, if they made a Dritz movie, I would want to be all over that.
Who would you be?
Artemis and Shuri.
In that,
Yeah.
I mean,
Artemis?
the only
Or
person
the-
I could
or
legitimately
Wolfguy?
possibly pull off that's in the no, I'm not tall enough for Wolfguy. I'm also not. I'm also actually, I'm getting to the point I might be able to play Brunor.
Ooh, I would just pick
I'd
Alex
have
if he
to
could
be-
act.
Oh my god!
If they did a Lord of the Rings dwarf effect on you, yeah, you could do that.
I would like wrestling.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
shoes to
Bruno.
your knees.
I was gonna say Robot,
but like
the wizard on the actual ship.
Oh God! On from Sea of Swords.
Mm-hmm. We're digging deep here into
Cool.
some D&D lore, everybody.
Yeah, I haven't seen or
Yeah.
read any
Deep
of
cuts.
those books or any of the Goblins. I am completely ignorant of all of that lore. I was not
Oh
reading.
man, Dritz is
By the
my
time those
favorite
came out,
literary
though, I was in
character
the Air
next to
Force. I
Sherlock
was fighting
Holmes.
fires, and we played on the, on our downtime. So I didn't have a whole lot
I
of.
want to get jacked and play Obald.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Dragon Spider's
I would be
like,
like,
who's going
"You're
to
paying
watch
me to
the
work
movie
out."
anyway?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I mean, I'll never say no.
I think I'll go watch it, or at least
You have to
watch
get
it when it comes
scheduled
out.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
So
you'll be
what's
like,
everybody's favorite D&D movie that's not D&D though?
Can I confess at this point that I
Crow.
absolutely love terrible things? So my favorite, I just love horrible bad movies. So my favorite D&D movie.
Have you seen Miami Connection?
It's The Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege movie, and it's
Oh my God, it's so
multiple
bad.
sequels.
Oh no, it's got
so
Matt,
awful.
Matt Lillard in that one. That's what you were talking about the other day.
It is. They're horrible, but I love them.
Dumpster
because
fire.
Lee,
so
if you love bad movies, you should go watch Clown Town. On
Oh,
Amazon.
okay. I will. Oh, I will. Let's see if I have
Clowntown
it.
and Miami Connection.
Okay.
Miami
I'll-
Connection is one of the
Connection is
worst
much
movies of
worse.
all time.
I
Oh
just,
my god.
no, that's a mug.
Hi Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, Sean.
You did say your hair was bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
Hey, Sean.
You're muted, Sean. You're muted.
You're muted, Sean. We can't hear you.
You sound so
See in the
cute
bottom
when you're
corner?
muted.
You're muted. You cannot hear.
You're muted.
muted.
You look like a potato.
Let's just leave it that way.
Yeah, don't, yeah.
You're muted on Zoom.
Yep, looking good though. But
Ask
Nice
to
page, yeah.
unmute.
We don't know what
Okay.
you're actually saying. We can't fucking hear you.
Hey, there we go.
I just realized Wayne's wearing elf ears.
I know nobody recognizes. Nobody.
You didn't
nobody knows.
realize.
They don't know that anymore.
What is the glow? What is that? Are you like burning down the tapestry behind you? What the fuck
No,
is
it's
that?
Yeah.
It's a light bulb. So all the light bulbs in my study here, my apothecary, are all those flame bulbs. So
The
Wayne.
flickering ones.
It looks like he just went.
It looks like
Click,
some
click.
fire.
Some sort of bacchanal.
Let it burn.
Wayne.
Some sort of odd bacchanal going on back there. It's just, he'll
No,
get
it
to
is
it.
kind of weird though. There is lots of magic stuff goes on back here. I have all sorts of herbs, crystals, and you don't even all the real
Is there
stuff.
is two things about that is one, have you been wearing those ears since Monday? Did you glue them on? And then two, you can't just say, yeah, this is where all the magic happens back here.
You guys. All right. Well, how about okay? There is. Here we go. All sorts of herbs and bones and crystals, rocks. I
Holy
make
shit,
a bunch
bro.
of sage mixes. I've got
Whoa.
my.
What state
sonic
are you in?
drums. I've got all my library, all my magic books and crystals over there. Crystal collection over there. Shamanic headdress, which nobody has seen but you guys right now. That's for ceremonies and rituals. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm that kind of nerd. But
Awesome.
Nice.
I do the rune readings and
Nice.
stuff, so I also follow it up with
Wait, I'm sorry. You do rune readings?
yeah, I do rune divination.
you
So
wanna
I make
come
runes
do
and
a
then
little-
I do
You want to
divination.
do a little
at,
divination on Athontia because they have a rune and a tarot reader that is on the train traveling across the world right now. Do you want to come
wow.
and do a rune reading
That'd
on
be
the show?
Oh, I'd love to do. I'd do that. Hell yeah! I'll do a
Oh.
rune reading for any of you guys if you hit me up later for free.
This will be
Yeah.
this will be on air. This will be live. This will be like for the show. Okay, sweet.
Sure.
Hey,
we're
Wayne.
gonna have to talk.
Yeah, I'll trade it.
Wayne, where are you based again?
I'm in Omaha,
live?
Nebraska.
Have you ever made it to MegaCon or have any reason to go to MegaCon?
No.
Florida. So, reason I ask is this is one of my favorite finds. There's a guy who does bone and antler work, but he made a full set of divination runes.
Oh yeah.
$20.
I got his phone number, dude. That's the guy that was. That's
Do you really?
Yeah.
He made full sets of like bone and antler, like.
'Cause he has these fucking bone copper beaten bison dice.
These are my new runes that I tried out. These are all.
We make.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's hot, dude.
And then you can use them as a necklace or talismans as you.
I love Warhammer, man.
That's super cool.
Very cool.
Now, Eric, was that?
David, do you say you do bone dice as well?
Yeah, we do bone dice out of ethically sourced yak horn. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's his.
Got a really beautiful polish on them.
Yeah.
His is something. Was his bison horn or something like that, or bone? I can't remember. But it's a native.
So.
A bunch of Native Americans make it for him, and he buys them from him, which is super fucking dope.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Were those?
He's a small company. He actually got. He started making. What is it? I can't remember what it's actually called. It's not LARP, but it's similar. But he makes like armor for people, and owns like a big company that does all the plastic like lamellar armor and stuff like that for reenactments.
I like the SCA
really cool
stuff.
Yeah, SCA. Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
Dark Armor, Dark Forge, Dark something is the name of his company. He's out of Florida. They have an injection molding company. Guy's super cool.
But all his bone stuff is legit. Like the guy next to us went over because he was
This is
Eric
a
and I bought these
beard
combs from him
comb.
too.
That's cool.
That thing was $20. Like his prices were insane. So much so that one of the guys next to us at the booth went over and bought all of his dice and went back to his booth and sold them and marked them up.
Like you motherfucker.
Oh,
that is
that's kind of
Are you serious?
But we were talking to him about it. He was like, I mean, I sold everything I brought here for the price that I set it for, so I'm fine with it. Like,
I don't give a shit. I can drive home. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Now,
That
Eric,
guy's like
were
a
those
lawyer or
brass
something.
pips? Was those brass pips in that boat, like punched in that bone?
Beaten copper pips.
Into the bone. That's sick.
Into the bone.
Yeah.
They're super cool. I got 3 of them. He's
His
a super
stuff's
nice
awesome.
guy. But he's only does the Miami
never
show,
seen
and then
that.
everything else is online sales. Let me see if I can find the lamellar plate. His business card is literally a lamellar plate with a ring through it.
Yeah, nice.
It's stupid. Hold on.
Yeah, if you guys do runes, if anybody wants them, I'll do some mini runes for you guys to give you, and then. But if you want a rune reading, yeah, I'd be happy to read any of you guys at some time. I've already read one bat. I'm gonna say.
He's in live chat. Jeff, you did a.
Oh, okay.
Was it Jeff? Yeah, it was Jeff.
I am not saying If he wants to tell you, great. But if anybody gets,
I'm not saying, but yeah.
No, I didn't say that. No, I'm
not saying. Oh, it was Jeff, wasn't it? It was
Jeff. No names, but his initials are JEF.
Yeah, right. He can explain it to you, but
he said in chat. Yeah, it was. He said in chat that. Yeah, he said in chat that it was him. So.
So Adam, Adam, with Runelanders, what's happening with you over at Runelanders? Tell us all about it.
We're just we've got 2 shows now. We started with one. I expanded this year. Our second show just started in December. We're 7 episodes in. Our flagship series is a little more of an acquired taste and a bit longer in the tooth. It's called Rapscallions. They're very different. They're set in a homebrew universe that, I made up. Everybody's got one, right? But mine's the best because I did it. Really saves everybody else. Right? Anyway, no, I've been at this.
A bunch of bards who are actually onions. That'd be cool.
Oh.
No. No, I hadn't considered that. Although
it is now. It's now.
I'm going to mark that down in the marketing notes meetings.
No. Not at all. Not at all. A bunch of bardic.
By the way, Adam, I have a new idea for a bard.
Okay. Are you going to pitch this now, or do we save this?
No, as she's got a leak and she
Oh,
raps.
I see. Yeah, great.
Whoa. Ep14,
Now it
you're
is.
Huh?
You're from America?
I'm from America. You didn't know that?
I thought you were from Sussex. I've been only dealing with you on email.
No, I'm not from
Wow. Well, that's my mind blown early.
But it gets more confusing. She's not living in America.
No, I live in Denmark.
Sean just went boom.
That's what happens.
Wait a minute. You have watched me on how many of these episodes, and you have not caught on to the fact that I'm American.
Yeah, like you've been in chat while she's been playing. You're like,
oh dear.
I still love you, Sean. You made my day this month. You made my entire year, and I could not have asked for anything better than what you have done for me, John. So thank you.
Do you have it there, Lee?
Don't worry.
I do have it. I can
show
post
that.
it. I can post it. It was on my Twitter.
what are you drinking, Sean, as well?
What can I do for you, buddy?
What am I drinking?
A few months back, I won a prize from Band of Badgers, and it was Sean drawing my
right now.
my character of my choice, and so I asked him to draw a family portrait for me and my husband and our daughter, and it is amazingly well done. And I'll go ahead and post the Twitch link in the.
Yeah, he did our van for our show, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So there it is. You can see it.
Keep the requests coming, guys.
And
He's here all year.
Yeah.
It looks like me. It looks like my husband. It looks like our daughter. Our daughter keeps asking all these questions about, why is her stuffed animal there, and why are we elves, and Daddy's not an elf. It's just her favorite thing, and she's like, when are we going to get the big picture so we can hang it up?
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
That is outstanding.
Isn't that?
Purple hair is fantastic.
Yeah, it looks like her. It's exactly her. It's so cool.
And I checked, and her husband is that massive in real life. He is.
This is the guy who did that for you.
He's a large man.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, I went ahead, and when I came to Denmark, I married a frost giant. Working out pretty well for me. Yeah, we live in this beanstalk, this castle on top of a beanstalk, and there's a harp that plays itself. I can't recommend it enough.
I was working from real photos.
Yeah.
His pronouns are fee, fi, fo, fum. Then.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey.
That's it.
Don't tell them that we said.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, a bunch of Englishmen. I was in.
I
What was
know.
I thinking, right? Oh my bad. Yeah. No wait, but the Danes did that for years and years, so that's just history, friends.
Hey, wasn't this supposed to be dino racing? What the fuck happened, man?
We opted for beer. Well, there was two things. Is one, I was telling everyone, all the guests, I said, we've changed our mind. We're gonna have beer instead of dino racing. And then Joe
I was just gonna
decided
do both at the same time.
No, Joe decided to do dino racing last week.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And it was a ton of fun.
The only thing with it is it's a lot of people throwing out numbers like literally every 30 seconds or so, and when you've got X amount of people and everyone's like 24/7, for the DM you're gonna be like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I thought it'd be even more pandemonium than what this is now. So we ran it last week with the Team of Annihilation
Imperative
and Josh as well. So
are you still doing the teams for Tomb of Annihilation? Did you guys already complete that? What's going on?
It's done. It's finished. This is the rap party. That's why you're here.
Didn't even ask us to come play.
Remember that?
We had a team put together and everything.
We did tell them we were going to roll all paladins. They probably didn't want to deal with it.
They were just scared of us bringing our all paladin squad.
It's just past 8 a.m. here, and I'm not ready for beer or dinosaur racing, I've got to say.
What do you mean? Coffee with alcohol in it, then? Coffee with a little booze?
Both those things go together.
Is it
Irish breakfast?
Isn't it the thing? You see it in films. They have their cornflakes. Pour the beer in there. Away you go.
Oh, I put a lot of rum in that.
Just off the mimosa.
In your
I feel like that would get soggy very fast.
Kraken, do you get Kraken in the
Yeah,
UK?
yeah.
Okay, so Kraken made a coffee liqueur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kraken coffee. That with 5 Farms Irish cream. 5 Farms is like one of my favorite. It's not Irish cream, but it's a liquid, alcohol.
Liquid. It's a
cream.
liquid.
It's a liquid. It's like melted snow. No, it's a
liquid.
It's a alcohol cream. It's awesome. It's probably one of my favorites so far. Those together with whatever coffee of choice and just immersion blender or whip that thing. So good. I know because that's the second one. It's so good.
Ooh. Whip that thing.
Yeah, we.
Hey, this is convention week for me. This is just.
This is it. This is a continuation of that. As I said at the start, I just wish that we could have done this. What's happening? Are we on GaryCon then, Eric? Did you talk to your contact?
I did send a message.
Are we going to be on?
He said maybe. Here's what he said. Maybe can you shoot me an email at the info of blank blank blank, which I will text you now. I'll hook you up with the European organizer. There you go.
Cool. Right, let's do that. Yeah, we have Kraken over
might
here.
get one before the end of GaryCon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know what we did. We're gonna.
That?
Well, no, I want to do this. We can't do this again.
No, I mean like, but your UK time. Can you do one during UK time and fill a Saturday slot maybe?
What and do this? Have a
Time
chat.
means nothing to Dave.
You're already doing this.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking now. Are you going to come back?
So, yeah, I would say you do one. I'm still just going to send.
We're going to do Dino Racing.
Do it.
Yeah, why not? I'll do it.
Try to pick the D&D director. That's a game.
Literally, there you go. Dave, check your Twitter. Done.
Yeah, we'll be back for Dinosaur Racing, Eric, so you can tell that.
I am paid to network by companies. I got you.
You get paid? I just do it for free, damn it.
You know how hard it was to find people to pay me to network, and then when you like close a few deals, they're like, "Oh, it's actually like sales." I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been fucking telling you for like 20 years. You suck at it.
Sean, you're in an abandoned pub.
Yeah. So the pubs are closed in the UK.
Yeah,
so
most ours are too.
I'm currently in an abandoned bar.
Oh wow.
That is eerie.
Man, dude, that looks like the old gaming bar I used to
One man
work at.
drinking in a pub.
How did you get in?
Is the jukebox playing?
Broke in.
Oh, yeah, but it was just like
Got the keys.
let's go down to the pub.
He's a regular. He's got a key. It's.
Well, actually, here's a story. So I've known Sean for a number of years now, because I used to own a comic shop, and Sean came to work for me. And then, as time goes on, the little village that Sean used to work in, he had this flat, and then there was this kind of like mysterious door in the basement that was always locked. Okay, he didn't have the key to it. One day, this is a story. I'm making this up as I go along. But one day he comes home, the door is open. Inside, behind that door, is a network of tunnels. So those of you who live near me will know of Reigate and the tunnels underneath Reigate. And down in there is a giant dinosaur. They used to use it for brass band practice, a shooting range. It used to be an army bunker back in the day, and full of ghosts. And also the pub, which is a few doors down from where Sean used to live, kept its barrels down there to keep them cold.
Yeah,
I love how you just tack on and full of ghosts.
And full of ghosts.
That wasn't the
ghost. Yeah, I'm still there. I didn't even hear what he said after.
It's just basically my old flat was haunted as shit. So
nice.
You got out.
Yeah, I moved.
I have a coal cellar that we keep all our gear in. It's an old coal cellar because behind us is a train yard.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's good.
Yes, but this doesn't explain how he's in the pub when it's closed, or have you been in the pub since
he said it.
It's closed?
Did
you
you
won't let you out?
Did you kill the guy for the key? Like, how did that?
It's a VR background.
He's a regular. It's how they roll.
Was
there.
it an item drop? Like, what happened?
Been living off.
And also draw cartoons from the snug, so they left me the keys.
Also, my old house was haunted, so I moved is the best one-sentence horror story I've ever
If anyone is interested in optioning it for Hollywood, do let me know.
Well, we got a couple of the voiceover actors who do movie trailer voices. So you could have he lived in a haunted house.
Wayne,
Yeah.
And then he moved. That's it. Like, done. Opening.
But then he moved. The end.
There you go.
Dude, oh my
Live
god,
happily
that
ever
reminds
after.
me of I was at the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival when they were still doing it here in LA.
Oh, that's so cool.
And one of the submissions was it was supposed to be it was like, I toiled over forbidden knowledge and it was just a dude sitting at a desk in a room with nothing, like no set dressing. Everybody was just like, okay, obviously they had to let this fly because it was submission into the film festival. We have to vote on it. And it was only like maybe 2 minutes, but it's like I toiled over forbidden knowledge for many years. I discovered secrets that could only be found in certain and blah 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 blah. And then someone told me if I didn't give it up, I would be cursed for the rest of my life. So I listened, and now I make cans, and it just went to this montage of like industrial, like Getty images, like cans rolling down a conveyor belt, and he runs out of the door like so happy. I was like, "This is fucking brilliant." So the most, like,
turn back.
like a
So
version of like 5-second films.
I
And
would
so
watch
I
that.
did. I left it all behind, and now I'm very happy.
Don't go in there. Fuck, we shouldn't go in there.
Yeah.
Roll credit.
It's like at the start of a D&D campaign where someone's like, what about if I just turned around and said no to this person? It's like, well, then we all pack our things up and we go home.
Can we tell long rambling?
Well,
Can we tell long rambling role-playing stories on this stream? Is that okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
Crack on,
So,
mate.
long story short, I have a very long-running 7th Sea campaign, and my players at one stage were trudging through the hills of Eisen, which is like
Germany,
the hauntedest version of Germany, and they came to this castle where they finally found some refuge for the night. They went inside. Turns out the castle's owned by this mad scientist. He's actually kind of nice. He's okay. They managed to negotiate. You know, they get themselves rooms.
He's okay.
They wake up during the night because one of them's been kidnapped, and they break into the mad scientist labs, and he's got him strapped to a table, and you know is about to conduct some experiments on him, and they draw swords and tell him to stop what he's doing, and he goes, "Oh, all right, sorry," and that guy became like their #1 NPC for the rest of the game. They love him because he just agreed. All right, sure, I'll stop being evil. It's bad.
Can't do this. Why not? It's unethical. It is. Yes. Well, shit.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
The end,
Anticlimax.
right?
Anticlimax is one of the best tools you can use as a GM. I love it.
I've been lied
Well,
to
think
all
about
these
most
years.
of those quests that you're doing. Most of them are like, why would we do this? Why would we put ourselves in such grave danger for such little chance of treasure and possible total party kill? So,
I think adventuring is just one big psychological test. Like, I think that's all adventurers are really doing. Like, hey, by the way, we're testing this new thing. You're gonna die, but don't worry about it. It's for a good cause.
and ask your fellow party member, where do you live? Nowhere. I'm a homo just like you.
Yeah.
It's live at the end.
Roaming
I'm
the
in door
land,
3.
trying to get pickup gigs.
What are we going to do
Hilarious.
after this, huh?
Right?
Well, I mean, that's kind of how I got started with Tomb of Annihilation. It's just I showed up one episode and then like I had to concoct a backstory because they kept asking me back, and it's just like I'm with the emergency elf insurance company here to save your party.
Insurance company? What the fuck?
They bought elf insurance for their party, so whenever somebody dropped out, they would just call the emergency elf, and she would just rappel down from the ceiling and be like, "Hey guys, I'm here."
Literally, Lee had about
signs or does petitions. That's my job.
Yeah, Lee had about half an hour to concoct a full character and backstory before going live on Twitch.
And so it's Jessica, the emergency elf from the insurance agency.
Yeah.
And then
Well
at the
done.
end-
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us as well, and also jumping in sort of full time. So
At the end, I turned in a whole stack of paperwork. It's great. There's some forms that need to be signed. Yeah.
Hilarious.
And so
I'm
much
gonna do like a
paperwork
whole
and
bunch.
math.
I'm gonna do like a whole bunch of commercials where it's just like Jessica answering the phones, like, "Oh yes, Telkus, thank you for calling the emergency elf service. Oh, you're out of sausages. Oh, yeah. Oh no, that's very serious. Let me see what your policy covers.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, sorry, you don't have troll coverage.
Yeah.
That also links
that's
to the
the
fire
worst.
coverage.
Yeah.
That's a bundle deal.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I know this is Dungeons and Dragons, but dragons are extra, so I'm not going to get involved in this fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, you only have liability
To our
coverage.
dragon litigation specialist.
Controversial. Dragons are my least favorite thing to even use in D&D.
Oh, interesting.
I've only been in one
Least favorite
campaign that's had a dragon in it.
Yeah.
Drew, how many
Ironic
dragons
as
have
that.
you fought in our 20 years of gaming?
Oh.
2?
See,
Yeah, but have a cartoon and there's a dragon immediately, and it's Tiamat. Jerks.
I mean, Tiamat's a different beast. That's a god.
Yeah, right.
And I'm a kaiju fan. Like I'm a huge kaiju fan. My new morning show that I'm getting ready to do, well, the not morning show because it starts at noon, is based in a kaiju world, and I interview people while all the horrible shit's going on. But I hate dragons in D&D. I don't know if it's because they've been like
really does.
used so much.
He really does.
I don't know if it's.
I can only think of one.
I like the lead up to the dragons a lot. I like the layer of the dragons a ton. But like, first off, what dragon's gonna fight in a fucking cave when you can fly?
good point.
Well, that's
Good
a challenge
point.
I
So they
think to
won't.
the dungeon masters. Make a campaign, make an encounter where you've got a
But you
third level
kill the
party.
dragon
and you
first.
run into a small dragon, and how can you avoid? How can they talk
I've
their way
done
out?
them. That's no different than just running a large lizard. Like they need to be able to fly and do their stuff. And the intelligence
It's not
of them is
lizards
what's
and dragons.
important.
The intelligence is really
Dungeons
important.
and
I feel like
lizards.
it's in dragons.
Dungeons
I'm
and
a big
lizards.
fan of the black dragon. I love the fact that they use a swamp and like pickle their food and do stuff. Like for frost ones, I have them freeze their armies for white worms, freeze their armies and defrost them and send them out for battle. Like I do stuff like that because it keeps them like young. It's like cryostasis is what I
Stay fresh army.
Stay fresh army. You got it. But I just don't enjoy them. They, I think the 5v1 does not work out. I do think Matt Colville did a good job making it so they get to act. Every time someone does an action, they get to act. The problem with one monster versus a group is they're going to get trounced almost every time. Unless they have a
hordes are lot
reaction
harder
to every
deal
single
with.
person. The action economy is just not built for it. Too bad Alan wasn't here, so I could talk to Alan about how the action economy in 5e is bullshit when you're one monster against 5.
Alan,
Okay.
Alan,
He left earlier. He's writing a 5e adventure right
if you're
now.
watching this back tomorrow, he doesn't mean it. Well, he does. But I'll apologise for him anyway.
But no, like dragons are released. I would rather run a beholder, a beaver, or a fucking
I know what you mean. I think-
frostworm.
well, those
I
are
think-
horrific monsters.
To some
rather
extent,
than,
pop
dragon
culture
is
has
not so
devalued
scary.
the dragon.
You think
You
so?
know, like I remember as a kid reading The Hobbit, and the descriptions of Smaug are terrifying. And
Yeah, they're great.
This isn't, and I'm not going to compare this to the film, but I'm going to say that when I was a kid, the only place that I had to find out about a dragon was that book, or
yeah, literature was it. Yep.
or D&D books, or whatever. And it's only as I've grown and watched dragons become more mainstream, and like there's a D&D episode of every comedy show,
Like how to train your fucking dragon, like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
that sort of stuff's part of it, yeah. But I think that the mystique has been removed from dragons. The Witcher Netflix series actually did them really well, I thought.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they actually felt kind of
Gold Dragon
unusual
looked a
and
little
different.
weird.
It's good.
They're filming season 2 of that now, right?
Yeah.
I use a dragon. I'm gonna open Breathing Fire, killing an entire city of the people in it, and make them play in Purgatory. That's how that's gonna fucking go.
Yeah.
Okay, best dragon in cinema though. Best dragon in cinema. My choice.
Sean
Dragon
Connery,
Slayer.
Dragonheart, by a mile.
Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer.
Dragon
Yeah, you're
Heart.
right.
Oh,
I think that is.
No.
I am the last of my kind.
Dragon voice, because you can't go wrong with Sean Connery.
Right. Yeah, Dragon Slayer, or I really enjoyed Reign of Fire.
I love
I did
Reign of
too.
Fire.
Or kaiju
That was a
monsters.
little bit different, yeah.
Yeah.
There are
Good call.
kaiju monsters that walked around like bat creatures that incinerated and melted people, and Christian Bale's in it. So I mean,
Yeah.
Right?
Well, even
Before he was
Coriolis,
famous.
They didn't even talk about Dragon Slayer, about one of the best
What about-
1980s dragons ever put to film.
Well,
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
no.
that was scary.
Craig
the
Ferguson
sound-
is the only thing worthwhile on How to Train Your Dragon. That is it. Fuck out of here. I'm not a kid. Even though I watch a lot of cartoons and anime, I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
We still watch it when it comes on TV. Admit it. Fine.
Just
it's,
circle back round. Just circle back round. We were talking before about
anymore.
the D&D animated show. I reckon if they wanted to do a movie based on that, they really grabbing like Gennady Tarkovsky, who did Samurai Jack and the Clone Wars, getting him to do it.
Yes.
That would be over.
Okay, you're
off
right.
the
I would,
charts.
you're right. I would watch it. It's him. It doesn't matter. He could literally do the Care Bears the second time I'd fucking watch it. Doesn't
Man, Samurai Jack. I mean, there are half hours of that show with no dialogue, and I'm like enraptured. I could
the
forget
fight
my
scene
family
where they're
existed
going between
watching
light
that.
and shadow in 2nd season, or them pulling needles out of each other for like literally 5 minutes straight in 2nd season.
It's just the best. I love it.
But I agree. You are right. It is the way it's told. I do agree. I think dragons are just over used and used poorly, like as dumb big creatures that aren't getting shit done. I think that's my problem with them. But I have not. Can anyone think of a good adventure? Like I played Council of Worms, the box set. If anyone remembers that monstrosity, I ran that for like almost a year. It wasn't that great. And you got to play dragons. I can't think of an adventure that's done dragons justice. And Dragonlance, they were just set pieces. Like you fought them, but you were gonna die if you fought dragons in Dragonlance. But I can't think of an adventure that's done a dragon justice.
So Dave did 2 dragons for us yesterday, and the lead up to it was really intense, and the whole execution of it. I don't know if it was just Dave, but the whole execution of it was awesome. It was
me.
it was really stressful. Actually.
Yeah, it was all me.
It was all me.
Yeah.
You see? Did you see my shirt? Look, by the way, look. See?
Yeah.
That.
What difference a Dave
makes. Yeah.
I would be super happy since that's his name.
A difference isn't always good.
adventure
Dave,
was
just
it?
throw it out there.
It was his Runelords campaign.
Rise of the
Oh, it's the
Rise of
Dragon and
Runelords
Runelords?
campaign. Yeah.
No,
Get that out of here, Drew. Look closely. He is to the left of the Twilight Prince.
Oh my god.
My buddy just sent me this shirt yesterday. I had a Vistaprint envelope that showed up. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't order anything. And my wife is
Tell him
like,
why it exists, though.
Best shirt
Why it
ever.
exists.
So I have a penchant for whenever I'm on set and there's a green screen, I'll just take like a square photo of me doing something stupid in front of it, and then I'll put it on Facebook and be like, have fun. So like this is the bullshit that people come up with. But my buddy Nick, who's one of my players, is like to my wife, he's like, Tony, what's your address? Why? He's like, I'm gonna send you something. Apparently coasters might be on their way.
Oh my god, send me one of those.
I know. Tony
I'm just
was
gonna
like,
put
"This
my
would be
second
all over the
webcam
house."
on that coaster during a Thontia Dark Tides. Just your face next to the Twilight Prince.
I love Twilight, and it like
Drew
that's
does
only
sparkle.
because it's
Yeah, you said you like bad movies. We already
love
checked
it.
that box.
Yeah, that's because I watched.
Miami Connection. Watch it.
I watched the
Oh my
riff
God.
tracks of all of them.
Oh, that.
Has anybody? This is gonna be so random, but has anyone ever seen Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
No, but I've
Really?
seen that.
So good.
I've seen it.
Absolutely brilliant.
For those of you who have not yet seen it, that is your weekend homework assignment.
It is so good. Oh, we should do a watch party for that. Is that on freaking watch party?
We already have so many movies we have to watch, Eric.
Yeah, I
He's a
know.
fucking
Alan, our
Alan.
buddy Alan hasn't seen Aliens. I almost flew to Colorado to slap him.
Yeah, what?
He hasn't seen Aliens. He hasn't seen Predator. Like,
What?
How old
Oh
is
my
Alan?
god.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I would be disowned
no
from my
excuse.
family.
That's-
At least he saw Die Hard, the best
you
Christmas
shouldn't-
movie of all time.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to get to 27 without seeing those sorts of movies.
Steve, you joined us.
Right?
How you doing?
Alright.
Kids in bed?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, you all
Hey,
right?
Steve.
But I did have a point to my
Every
Twilight
day I'm
story.
rustling.
Oh,
Beyond me
Twilight?
telling-
I'm sorry,
yeah.
we were glazing over that. My
Yeah.
fault.
Took you too long,
Uh,
Steve. Took you too long.
The third movie gave me a seizure. It was so bad.
I'm sorry.
God.
What?
Wow. What?
Yeah, I have
Is
epilepsy.
this like the deodorant package where it says do not use orally because somebody did it? Did they give you a warning beforehand and you watched it anyway? Like what?
No, it's just I have epilepsy in some movies. And it was just like
Oh
I'm
no.
sitting here and like
Sparkles?
there's and there's like the motorbike chase scene and goes and I'm just like sitting there going And my husband, but it took him like 10 minutes to realize that there was something wrong.
That's because he's enjoying the film.
Had kind of the same look because it was so bad or something.
You're missing it.
You're missing it. We did.
What are you doing? Stop interrupting me. I'm watching it.
He's doing the same. He's doing the same thing.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, if that is the case and bad movies like give you seizures, do not watch Miami Connection. You'll He's horrible.
If she has another one, it's all your faults.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to be careful.
No, it's Allie's fault.
It's Allie's fault, absolutely.
Jeff just said, has everyone seen the pizza boxes where it says, open the box before eating the pizza on the side?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Phantom Snap population.
Literally,
Tom say warning may contain nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What comedian did that about deodorant? Where he's like, it says don't use orally because somebody tried it. It was a stand-up comedian that did a huge skit on all of the warning labels on things.
Yeah, that was Louis C.K. where he was saying about if you just took the warning about nuts off the side of the packets in about 3 years, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Maybe. No.
But it does. It says may contain nuts. It is a packet of nuts.
I always wondered what caused it because, like, growing up, peanut butter and jelly was like the #1 food in junior high. What did we all eat? Is it the mass amounts of plastic in our water that we drink? Like, what caused it to everybody be allergic to fucking peanuts?
Right. Yeah.
That was a John Oliver little throw if anyone watches John Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
Love John.
He's great.
Here they do the opposite, and they've started making like super healthy versions of things. And I'm allergic to coconut, so the super healthy alternative to fat is coconut oil in everything.
Yes.
And so I'm going to all these parties and like, oh, would you like some coconut cake? And we made this cake with coconut. And I'm like, it's rude to refuse, but also it's rude to break out in hives. So
the next D&D game I play, I'm going to be a druid, and I'm only going to eat nature cereal to fuck with the GM. You guys seen those stupid videos? It's just fruit and coconut water. And ice adds the crunch. Yeah, if you hate yourself, what is wrong with this?
Can we just go back to eating
cake, please?
If you pop popcorn on the stove, coconut oil is the secret. Is the secret.
Yeah, it is actually really good for that. The heat is perfect for that. And we do. I make popcorn every viewing
at the movie theaters. To get you to smell it and want to buy it.
You want to tip up from that? Take your butter, all your herbs and spices, everything you want. Fill a ice cube tray with the melted butter and all your herbs and spices. And then when you want to melt it down, you put the ice cube in and melt that.
Yeah.
Because it's just butter and it melts down to the perfect consistency without burning or browning.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Wow.
There you go. There's another thing for your cookery. Another thing for your cookery book.
Cookbook Volume 2.
I do Thai butter seasoning for my popcorns, or I do a Cajun, and then I do an umami one that has mushroom powder in it, which is dope.
All right, so this means our next cookbook is going to be way more elaborate, probably a little bit bigger, and
international.
We're going to have to try some out.
You let me know when we're kickstarting this thing. I'm in.
Yeah, we tested out. Me and Lori, my wife, tested out all the recipes and took the pictures. So we had to try them all out, and I think I ate about 80.
Painful!
You got to bake them out. You got to put cannonballs in there.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna get like a divide right down the audience right now in chat here. I made cannon corn. Cannon corn is like popcorn balls, but they're made with a black licorice extract, like anise. So they're like a black licorice popcorn ball.
Yeah.
Divide right down the middle. Look at that.
Yep.
I
Those can't handle that.
Yes.
We break out in anger.
I love black licorice. I put them on the table. Two of my friends look at me. One grabs, it's like, "Ooh, black licorice," and eats it.
Should we whack a vote up? Do you want to whack a vote up in chat?
Go, Steve. Go on.
Cannon corn.
Nope. There.
Black licorice
Sounds delish.
popcorn ball.
That's just evil.
I would love to love licorice, the actual black licorice. I would love to love it, but it's like, man,
it's horrible. Yeah, it's not your fault, Wayne. It just sucks.
Like I don't even like Jägermeister, none of that.
Yeah, people that eat licorice just
it's super good. I don't remember how that happened. Wasn't one of the characters in our game a chef, and they made cannon corn? They're a Volk. They're a Volk.
You know what's going to suck worse is things we have to play. We have to actually cook test all these things. So if you actually submit that, I got to make that and eat it.
There you go.
Serving Hand says, see, he likes black licorice. He really is diabolical.
With you. So it was because our cook opened a cannon corn. So in my world, there's a thing called Vogue. They're like Skeksis, sort of. They're vulture people, but they like pickle their food. They like all the stuff that like right now, that divide in the sand. And they made it, and they put up a shop, and we're selling candy corn. Or not candy corn, cannon corn at some vendor. I was like, I should try making this. I like researched, found the recipe, made it. I loved it. My girlfriend wanted to slap me. She thought it was the fucking worst thing ever. But like 2 people in the party were like, ooh, this is pretty good. The rest of the party's like, I hate you. We're not friends anymore. It's like, it's how you unfriend in person. It's literally the Malort of food.
It's the monopoly of flavors.
Correct.
Maybe we can make it dark colored without the licorice.
I love your options, Steve. That's amazing. The options for who likes licorice is meh, nope, nope on a rope, and no.
Hold on here.
There's
Do I
nope
get to
on a
spend
rope.
points? I got a lot of Band of Badgers points here.
Yeah, mate.
Wait, why is there no yes? You didn't give me a yes. Voting.
That was on purpose.
Not voting.
Nope. I like nope on a rope. I'm gonna go with that one. And we're gonna do that 2 more times.
So, Steve, now you got your mic working. What was your talking about Tomb of Annihilation? What was your favourite critical fail? Because you had quite a few. I know what mine is, but
who won, by the way?
What, the dinosaur racing? Dave.
Hey, did I?
Dave won?
My favourite fail was probably the one where I tried to ride the first time the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And rolled the 1 on my it was either an athletics or acrobatics check, I can't remember, and just missed completely and landed. And that was probably the first time I think that Dave did wall of fire around it as well. So got burnt. Yeah, that was a good one.
I liked when you tried to do a medicine check on someone that was floating face down in the water, and you rolled a 1, and then you were like, I think he's just holding his breath. It's just really good at holding his breath.
What was the one I did in the last session we had? I can't remember what that was now. It was
109 votes for no. There's 26 of us watching.
Way to get the string going viral.
Followed very closely by nope on a rope with 104.
Everyone just jumped into our stream real quick just to say no, and then left.
No.
Someone talking about black licorice?
Yeah.
Court contributed 10,600 channel points.
Just mention your product or service, post a link, and then say, we love black licorice, and like,
yeah, we'll get the most dedicated audience of all time.
All time.
You'll get your 1,000 fans that you want, like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Our black licorice mailing list. I just came up with an idea. Holy shit! I want black licorice flavored black paint. So when you lick your brush, black licorice flavor.
Black licorice.
Black licorice does not matter.
I can send you them.
Cake flavored vodka sounds good though.
I got a question for you.
Cake flavored vodka.
Eric, do you lick your brush often? Because this is going to explain a lot of things for me.
Yeah. Do you use paint with a lot of metallics?
Color changing paints. Color changing paints are like the psychedelics.
What he does with his brush, it says business and shit about you first.
We all lick our brushes. Don't lie.
Yeah, come on, right? I swear
When
that's
they're
how I
clean,
point my brush after I wash it out.
You're the oddball out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man, I used to go to
Don't
games
do that with an
workshop,
airbrush.
Get those little minis of paint, pop the lid off, do it like a shot.
Then you spit the paint all over
You can't out the middleman. You cut out the middleman.
All the airbrush smashed on the floor.
Is Games Workshop still a thing?
Yeah.
Games
It is.
Workshop still a thing?
Yeah,
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I heard they rebranded. It's been a few years since I've done any.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the miniature tabletop simulator that has I'm probably outing some fucking company right now, but fuck them. They have all of the 40K and every model of Warhammer Fantasy all on tabletop miniatures. And a guy just made a program where you can use ZBrush to paint all your minis and then import them back in to play on virtual tabletop.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
How
That's
quickly
really cool.
I could paint an army in fucking ZBrush?
get you 10
my
victory
army would
points.
be done in like 2 days. And I would do my lead HQs and like really get in there, add some new textures that are missing. I was like, man, I might never play miniatures again. I might just do this.
Some GW lawyer in chat's about to ask for a link. I'm sure.
Me and Will in chat, we've both played in quite a few TTS competitions for 40K. So
I used to go to games day every year, like at the NEC in Birmingham, and there was one near us, Dave and Crawley. I could just go there, paint some stuff.
I think it's still there.
Games. It was great, but
I think it's still.
I don't think there's many locations anymore you can actually go to. Well, there aren't any at the minute, obviously. With
no, the one in Crawley's still open.
It is. Yeah, I got to travel back there more.
Well, no, it's not open at the moment, but it's still a thing.
It's still a location.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll keys for that then, Sean. What's Jamie making?
Jamie is making some Warlords Samurai at the moment. Here we go.
I need to paint this. I think I talked about this. You guys ever play Monster Apocalypse? I just built.
Yes.
I have played Monster.
Yeah, a long time ago.
They brought it
Cool
back,
game.
and now they're not the pre-painted. You get to paint your own. So I'm in the middle of building my army. So I'm painting all of this army to look like Mausers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Oh my god.
So
That's good.
I love it.
I think it was Josh I was talking to the other week, where I was saying to him, why don't they do blind boxes for models that are unpainted, like unpainted blind boxes?
Yeah, we were talking about that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like getting the blind boxes of the painted, but they're just unpainted, right? No different. They just got the priming on them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because like that one that Dave opened. Well, I think Dave opened like 2 or 3 on that unboxing, and that was enough for pretty much like a little like one shot.
Yeah.
And if you could then paint all those yourself, I think that'd be amazing.
These little.
Yeah, those little guys. Those are so cool. I love that that faction.
Is that like a frog?
Baby owlbear?
No, it's not. It's not a
There we
frog.
go.
It's like a. I don't know what it is, but it's not a
They're
frog.
like a blob looking thing, and then there's some that look like Mausers that go with the destroyers. This is the destroyer set, and I'm gonna paint them up to look like the Mausers. But I think I can fit these new LEDs I have in to light their mouths, so it looks like the laser beams come out of their mouth.
Oh, cool!
Oh, that would be awesome.
Well, if we're showing off bits and pieces that we've got, I'm gonna barge in and say that below me, this is Josh McGuire from the McGuire Review. He
for me, it's Joe.
he very nicely arranged a present with our other friends at Dogmite, and he sorted out a little present. So Joe's got his present. Steve, have you got your present? Or are you on mute?
I have.
I haven't opened it. It's still all wrapped up. I don't know what it is.
Okay, then I'll hold. I'll hold until you.
Yeah,
so you've sent them all the actual package. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh, as well.
So hold on, Joe. Not yet.
No, I'm going.
No,
Mate.
no, not yet. Now,
Kids, he's got to
My
do
show. I
it.
do what I want, mate.
it's my show.
Make this totally off camera. I hope it's something horrible.
So,
Maybe
Will.
black licorice.
It's just bees.
What the
It's just
hell
full
is
of bees. Yeah.
Well, yours is. So, Will, who's in chat. Will, hopefully you're still in chat. Just say something in live chat so we know you're live.
Yeah, he is. He's been talking and stuff.
So Joe has a double pack.
No, I don't.
And no, he doesn't.
No.
But whatever Joe has, Joe has 2 of them so that he can give one of them to Will.
There's only one in there. That's really weird.
So go. I mean, Joe's already going, so you might as well go, Steve. Go.
No, I haven't opened
Right,
it.
now you got to go as fast as you can.
This is
So
just
remember-
like on Tomb of Annihilation. Jessica never gets any of the treasure.
So remember, this
It's
is.
got any treasure.
So Josh, thank you so much for organising this. It was
cull
really
the
nice
treasure
of
out,
you.
mate.
And fantastic that you organised that with Dogmite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Let's see what you got.
I mean,
oh man, Steve's going in like surgical style.
Black licorice carrying case.
Yeah,
Close.
He saves the paper.
Oh wow.
Just to let you know.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Thank you
I got
so
it.
much, dude.
Black licorice minis.
It's a mini holder.
I know what to play.
Ooh, yeah.
For painting.
Oh, that's
minis and
fucking
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
I never knew how to use one of those things. I always held it by the little arm thing.
So is that armature bend to basically put pressure on it to hold it in place?
No,
I think it's so that when you're holding the mini, you can rest your hand
paint.
on it, so you get a more steady paint. So you rest always rest your hand on it while you're painting.
Yeah.
Built-in
And then
painter's bar.
does it have something to attach them to? Is that cork on the top? I can't tell.
Yeah. So there's a cork.
Pin them and stick them. That's fucking dope.
And then you've got a removable bit that.
They're awesome, man. These mini painters are so sick by Dogmite. So yeah, I mean you got they're real ergonomic. You got
It's
you
got
hold them in your
Ouroboros
hand.
on the bottom. That's dope.
Yeah. And then this steadies,
That's
you
super
know,
cool.
this will kind of steady the hand, right? As you're doing like the eyes or whatever you need to be really steady. And then when you just set it down, right? Then you got your
super cool,
right? And you get your base there. It's all magnetized.
God, they need to sell those with like a pair of reader glasses that are like number 3s.
Yeah. And then they do like they do
Or
a
the-
really cool
the jeweler's
engraving,
glasses,
like
they're
all the
like
way
drop
around.
lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's probably got a different engraving on their plate. Like this one's the Celtic one. What do you guys have?
Oh,
so
yeah,
Dave's got the
Ouroboros.
dragon.
Ouroboros.
Laurels.
Ouroboros one.
Nice.
Laurels.
That's cool.
That's super cool. That tree's awesome
Ermengarde.
too.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So cool. Thank you very much, Josh.
I was
for
actually
doing
going
that.
to buy
Those are
one
the
of
best.
these.
Do they sell those on their site?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I do.
I'll put a link up.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Flipping out over cork
Yeah,
is a
please,
mood.
yeah, link it. Man, I'm super stoked. I fully backed the new Hero Quest that Hasbro's putting out with all the expansions.
nice.
Like I'm gonna be getting a metric shit ton of minis in that game, and I'm gonna paint them all. It's gonna be awesome.
For what game?
Nice.
I'm really excited.
For what game?
Hero
Quest?
Quest.
They're redoing Hero Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hasbro redid
Drew,
Hero Quest.
I want to
You didn't know?
run the original edition of Hero Quest with that extra camera I have.
Do you have it?
I have 2 original box sets in the basement.
What?
Yeah.
I've got one too.
I thought you were going to send it to me. What was?
Why the hell would I do that?
Look,
Hero Quest.
we get gifts
I
now.
think it would be. I'm thinking like Sunday
I'm down.
afternoons we play Hero Quest.
I'm down. That would be awesome.
Make like digital character sheets that go on the screen because no one gives a fuck what you look like.
Did you do that?
Right?
All right, Drew, what character are you
Dude.
shotgunning?
Are you shotgunning?
Oh,
Who's that?
man.
Oh, which you got 4? Which one's it going to be?
Probably the elf.
Really?
Safe.
Who goes elf?
Because they have a decent combat and decent magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I mean, honestly, the first time I played it, I played all 4. Like it was just me and my buddy, and I just rolled through that dungeon.
Loved all that. Kellar's Keep, the Ogre Lords. I had all the expansions. It was so good. It got me into all of it.
I only ever played the Witch Lord. I didn't even know the other ones existed because it wasn't my game. So I thought there was only one expansion.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
good,
I'm excited for the reboot because
Me
the email with the minis that they've created so far, the gargoyle looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's my
saw-
favorite one. That and
The
the guy
minis
with
look
the
amazing.
the horns and the ball in the middle, the chaos guy.
Yeah,
I used him
yeah.
for like everything in D&D.
Oh man,
He's
he
one
was
of the
one
only ones that I have painted, and he's in my Games Workshop case because I use him as a spellcaster all the time.
This is going to be another divide. I actually prefer the miniatures on the table for that game to be static colors than be painted.
Yeah, only because when I was
That's how I always
of an
played
age,
it.
like I couldn't paint for toffee when I was that young. You know, so they came in a box. They were one color. I was like, yeah, that's great. Put them out.
But they don't look that bad. That's what I was trying to do with like the paint with some of the miniatures now. All these people are telling me, oh, you know, we get all these unpainted miniatures in Dungeon Crate. I'm like, can I do a painting series on just two color mono paint you know, things. So it's kind of like Hero Forge, where you know, you have all your goblins in green, but your heroes are like purple, blue, pink, you know, whatever. And then, but all your enemies are in just one. But you do like, the thing is, everything now is so detailed. I was like, just do one color, dry brush it. The fun part that we all like, and all of a sudden you are an amazing painter because all the details pop out. And
I ran a game at Battle Brothers, our local game club, where I was running Star Wars, and all the heroes were painted up, detailed, really nice. Told everyone, paint their own miniature, make them look good. If you can't, I'll do it for you. And then all the normal people were painted in one tone color, and then I had airbrush do zenith lighting, just so they were like, they had shadows and stuff to them, wash them.
Yeah.
Then all the main bad guys were painted really high end, so like you could pick them out on the board when you're playing. And there was something about the fact that you knew who didn't matter and who did. I was like, you wouldn't know. Bullshit. You know when a guy has a lightsaber and is murdering everybody versus stormtroopers. But there was something about the style. I think I did like 4 colors for all the base ones, but they were just white, the gray, the wash. It was zenith lighting, so they were shadowed. I think that is my favorite way to see miniatures on a board for tabletop RPGs, because I want the people who are important to look great, and the things that don't matter just to be there. They're just set pieces. And just a little paint, a little airbrush, and a wash makes all the difference, but they need to be uniform. And everyone's like, oh, that's classist and all this other crap that we're yelling at me about. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's for simplification on the board. You know who the goblins are, and you know who the boss is.
Yeah. What about Zooms? What about now when you can't get together with your
it's
people,
exactly.
and you really only have a camera. Maybe you've got it rigged up to where you're doing a tabletop. Well, now you can actually see where your enemies are and what your characters are if you're not using Roll20 or something like that, and you want to use tabletop stuff. I think it's easier to see. It was so hard for us earlier to see who was the enemy, who was us, and you know, it just didn't at a moment's glance. You know,
I worked in video games for years. There's a reason that the auras that are around people on bases and stuff like that in massive like combat games are different colors, so you can identify your character.
Right.
Same fucking concept. Yeah, 100% agree. But Hero Quest, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Me too.
Yes.
I miss it.
Be down.
Yeah.
When's the new set coming out? Do you know?
Not till the winter. Winter in the UK.
Winter?
So
Maybe we wait. We'll do it
has
for
basically Hasbro has their own Kickstarter, which I think is actually kind of smart. It's like, this is what we're doing. If it gets backed, we'll make it.
But
like,
it's smart, but it's also I find it a bit greedy. Because you got this massive toy company, just make the toy and put it out.
It's Hasbro.
But
I don't know.
But they said on the Kickstarter, if we get enough, they were trying to raise 1 million. If we reach 1 million, we will only make it if we reach 1 million. And
because that's the profit margin that they need to make, and also to
Yeah.
lower the cost of printing down. So here's the deal about Kickstarter. How it started and what it is now is not the same thing, and people just need to re-identify what Kickstarter is. Kickstarter originally was for indie stuff. That is very true.
Yeah.
But now it is the quickest way to do the equivalent to a pre-order. It allows people to realize the metric behind how many people are interested. Period.
You can order Kickstarters as a distributor. Like if I wanted to support a Kickstarter that was doing a thing, I could do it at a 1,000-piece quantity.
Yep.
And that would help them, and somehow you get the pricing or whatever that works out. I'm not sure.
Smart
I've never done
companies
it,
do
but
that.
I've heard that that's another way that these people can get their thing funded.
It's interesting because there are some projects that literally, you wouldn't be able to do them as retail products. And so, like, I got this game called Nouvelle France the other day, which is a giant, like, Tetris-style block building.
It's gorgeous.
Construct France game. It's beautiful. There's no way you could have ever marketed this because it would be $200 with the amount of stuff in it, and no one would buy it.
Yep.
But I admit that is one of the rarer occasions.
Well, I mean, but Monty Cook Games did Invisible Sun. That never could have happened with Kickstarter. But at the same time, these large companies that want a metric, because what's also changed is they don't control where the traffic flow goes and comes from anymore because social media is so large. But Kickstarter literally funnels interest to one spot for them. And that's the major reason that it is done that way. Do I agree with that? That's not the question. I'm just talking about why it is done. But I don't see Hero Quest on here.
For it.
Where is Hero Quest
I
on
think the Hero
Kickstarter?
Quest
What is it
one's
called?
finished. Isn't it finished? No, or is it still going?
Yeah, it's yeah. The backer like it already backed. It's Hasbro HasLabs. It's Hasbro Pulse is their kick.
So basically, if it fails, they can cut it off like a fucking wound. Yeah, I see.
Pretty much, yeah. But I linked the picture in chat that they sent, and it's the Gargoyle and the Barbarian.
Drop me the link so I can look at it.
We could only get the
was sent in an
deluxe
email.
version here in the UK, so it was a case of shut up and take my money. And
yeah,
I'm probably going to
it
regret
was,
that.
Like,
My only complaint was that here in
I'm pretty
Australia
excited
we
about
can't
it.
get it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no Hasbro Pulse option here.
Really?
Well, that was, but they said that when it launched, and everyone was saying, "Where's the UK version? Where's the European?" And I think it took about 6 weeks to 2 months, and then they said, "I wanted to back it, and I have, but I backed it from an online store called Zavvi. I don't know if you guys have Zavvi, but and they came on. They sent a big email out saying we've bought X amount of Hero Quest, and we're going to distribute it." So
that gargoyle model's hot.
And it was an extra 10%, I think.
I mean, I'm fortunate that the company has a warehouse in Indianapolis, so it wasn't a problem for me to have it sent there. But still,
So this is weird. Didn't Hero Quest have somebody else do a Kickstarter they were putting out, and they got just crushed for doing it, and then this came out afterwards? Am I correct in saying that? All right.
I don't think they had permissions for that first one. I think it was a case of they were just trying to make something like, "Oh, Quest of Heroes."
Yeah, I think because I mean it's based off of Warhammer Quest, which was a Games Workshop thing, and like Games Workshop is actually on the box for Hero Quest because it was a combo with Hasbro when they did it, or Milton Bradley, I think.
Milton Bradley.
But yeah, I think
Dude,
like
this is
it
dope.
suffered a lot of the. I know, I'm fucking excited, dude. But I think
but
it
at the
suffered a
same
lot of
time-
the same things, like when they were trying to do the
is gonna
reprint
be
of Betrayal at the
nostalgia.
House on the Hill with Avalon Games. It was just like it just kept hitting roadblocks.
I think
But
that
I'm-
while this is
I'm
cool and the
excited.
models are cool and the game and memory is great, you might as well just play Descent from Fantasy Flight Games. It's a 10-time better game.
quite possibly.
Possibly.
The new
I still
Warhammer
haven't played
Quests.
Descent.
The new Warhammer Quests are actually really good too.
Yeah, I haven't played that. I heard it's awesome.
They've got one coming out. They've got one coming out soon. That's like a besieged city where you're witch hunters fighting against the undead. It looks amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
Just
I will
so-
say, in defense of Games Workshop, when they started doing the collector's boxes, their prices got way more manageable.
I'm just going to butt in and say hello. Hi, Ben. This is Ben Armstrong, everybody, from Indigitech.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Everyone, good morning.
Someone else from Australia. So, Jamie, you have a breakfast friend. I don't know if you're in the same part of Australia, same time zone, but yeah.
Breakfast drinking?
I'm in Sydney. Where are you, Ben?
I'm also in Sydney.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh shit!
Networking starts now, you see. Level Up Dice, meet Indigitech. There we go. Partnerships. Let's go.
How's everyone doing? Yeah, good, mate. You?
Good.
Yeah, very good, very good. It's the
How
weekend.
was the my brain's gone.
Too many drinks
Fire
already.
last week. How was the spire?
Yeah, what level did you get to?
Oh, we only got to level 5 because my wombat character just had to go and forage for some food and
You
ran
into an
into
ass
a
deer?
pack of carnivorous ass deer.
Ass deer.
Oh yes! Oh fuck yes!
I think
Sorry,
actually
go well.
he was gonna die.
Oh my
What's
god!
an ass deer?
Yeah,
They're a real piece of
we
work,
need.
baby.
Yeah, find the link to that. Jesus.
It's still not. It's still not in the.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's created this thing. I mean, it's probably the best ever.
That's fantastic.
There
The
we go.
best
Man,
ass deer of all time. Yeah, because there's only one.
Yeah.
Stick it into Twitch, Steve, if you find it.
Yeah, I'm typing it into Google first.
Yeah.
And Christ knows what I'm gonna get.
That's too good. Ass strikes again.
Ass deer.
Is this like all the people who try to crush
Strikes
watermelons between their legs? Is this similar to that?
Ass deer too. No, so it's basically like it's like a deer, but instead of a face, it's got an arse.
An ass.
Yeah.
With like horns coming out.
If you ever met Sean Sunday, you'd
What?
understand.
Yeah.
So does it out the neck, or does it have two
At
heads?
some point, but
Right.
No,
It's a
it's
butt.
The face is an
There's
ass.
an ass, and then
The
antlers.
face is an ass. Like
For a face. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Just,
in,
just an ass where the crack is. It's just all
some
teeth.
of them,
and-
some of them cast thunderclap.
Damn it! I walked right into it, and I'm not even there.
I know.
I love the fact all the viewers are going, what? Asked here, thunderclap. What are we watching? I thought we were trying to tune into GaryCon. Which is where we should be, by the way. We should be there.
My buck is
That's
passed.
a proper cat butt right there, Ryan.
Yeah. I put it
Yeah,
into
my
it.
cat heard
It's
ass
switch.
deer and wanted to come show her ass too, I guess.
A Turkish Angora, and he's here. He's mad because I have whiskey here, and he drinks my alcohol all the time when I'm not looking. He's named Archer after the TV series because of that.
Oh my god.
Because he's a dick.
I posted the link to the ass deer and
There you go.
Yeah, nice.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's in live
Yeah,
chat.
the
It's a
Brainbeast
real
Studios
thing?
one.
It's a
Yeah.
really
What
Yeah.
the
It's a real
fuck,
thing.
Billy?
It's a regular ass dude.
Irregular, Golden giant. What the fuck am I looking at?
It looks like that walrus from, was that Disney? With
Like
the
I said, if you've met
oh
Sean
my god,
Sunday,
Drew,
you'd understand.
he looks like the walrus from Major Magics.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys have Chuck E. Cheese or anything similar to that where there's animatronic, like a pizza parlor with a bunch of video games?
Oh my
No, but
have
I
that.
know what Five Nights at Freddy's is.
Five
Yeah,
Nights
yeah,
at Freddy's. So
I've
that's all
played
based
Five
on
Nights
that
at Freddy's.
trend.
Five Nights.
It's all based on a trend of like those pizza parlors, video game arcades, that kind of thing. Out in Toledo, Ohio. God damn it, Alan, you left again. Out in Toledo, Ohio, which is south of Michigan, just south of us, there's a place called Major Magics. And it was one of those
Which is
animatronics.
like
They didn't
Chuck
want to
E.
be part of
Cheese,
Chuck
but
E.
it's-
Cheese. They wanted to be their own. It was like a better version. Qzar was next door, which is like a laser tag place. But they had a walrus that is the fucking face of that animatronic walrus right there.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my
like
God, I gotta see if I can
it
find
looks
this.
like bollocks on a body. Like, yes.
True.
That'll be season 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are deadly.
The animatronics are for sale, Drew.
So, Ben, aren't you glad you joined?
what?
Did
From
you
Major
have you been
Magic?
watching for 5 minutes before you came on, or did you just come on blindly? Have you
No, I literally
cornflakes?
came from breakfast and dishes to here, just straight in.
So,
Right into the fire.
Ben is also a D&D streamer, and has also played in Sean Sunday's The Shifting Spine. But tell us all about Indigitech, all the good stuff you're doing.
Okay, cool.
You got the elevator
Indigitech,
pitch.
We're a not-for-profit charity that started off as a networking community for Indigenous people here in Australia who work in the tech sector. There's not a lot of us, and we obviously had a lot of challenges in that space, you know, being very few of us there, and all of the things that go on in the world for Indigenous people. So we came together to create this networking community, and it's been like that for 5 years. We've been growing and growing and growing, and you know, getting lots of support and partners through the tech sector. And we did a lot of physical events and networking events. Obviously, COVID came along, and that shut that down for a bit. So we decided to go into do a lot of things virtually. So what we started to realize was that there was, a great need for safe spaces online for Indigenous people. You know, there's this whole saying that social media allows us to connect to people and connect with people, but it also isolates us sometimes due to some of the experiences we have online. So we created some safe spaces, and then we started a Twitch channel, and then we decided to realize that, hey, actually, a lot of the Indigenous people who are coming into our safe spaces play games. They play all types of different TTRPGs. So maybe we should start doing some of that. And so we started up a D&D group as well, and we've been streaming that. We have Outstream this afternoon in Sydney time at 2 p.m. It's hilarious. It's pretty fun. It's one of the most fun games I've ever played in, because it's just basically a bunch of blackfellas sitting around just being ridiculous, as D&D tends to be. Our ultimate goal is to try and keep things fun, keep the community connected, allow the community to network and grow, support each other, and then also just change the future for Indigenous people in the tech sector and here in Australia. In 2016, we only had in the whole country 600 people, 600 finish any type of degree or certificate in IT. 600 Indigenous people. It's just, that's nothing.
Wow.
You know. And so we really need to you know, for our future of our people and for the future of communities and entrepreneurship and growth and innovation, we need to start getting more, making that more, you know, accessible and more opportunities and just, you know, so kids can actually see themselves as having a career in that instead of just having a career in sport, which is kind of what people just shove down our throats, right? Hey, you want to get out of the bush, you want to get out of the remote community, just be good at sport. So
yeah.
So Ben's going to be joining us on.
You gotta let me know if you need anything for that program or what you're doing. We have more Australian subscribers than I do in my hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. Apparently, and everybody keeps in touch, so we know all of them. But it's like Australia is really important to us. We tend to. You know, they just can't get a whole lot, so I try and make sure that when we do send stuff to Australia, we send extra stuff or things like that, or make it available. But yeah,
awesome.
You know, any of that, let me know.
Cool, thanks, Wayne.
I have so much stuff. I just, you know, these guys get me drunk and I just give it away. So.
That's true.
That's why we have these.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, no,
Wayne, it's just
Australia.
a secret cabal that is here making you give shit away. That's why we're at it.
So
we have a big meeting before you show up. We have a big meeting afterwards.
Yeah, it's all planned.
See?
So it was
Who's the co-owner is not here at home right now.
Mine's like our very own Matt Lillard, just getting pissed and give away stuff.
Funny thing, I'm coming over. I'm gonna hand deliver it to you.
So it was Sean Sunday. I'll do a short shout out for Sean because he's not here. But Sean Sunday was the one who introduced me to Ben and everything they're doing. I've had a big chat with Ben as well. We've got him signed up to do some. He'll be coming on to Band of Badgers as a guest player, but we hope to be doing more. We've mentioned. I've had a chat with Ben about that. An international team, an international game. So we have someone from the States, East, West Coast, someone in the middle, UK, Germany, Australia. If we can put that together, that'd be fantastic. The whole point of these is not just to come on, have a drink, have a laugh, share stories. But also, when we did this at Christmas, and those of you who were with us at Christmas, we started networking. We started making those relationships, playing those games. And for those of you who also do this as a business, we started to make those connections too. And that's been a great thing for everyone involved. And it's only been 3 months, guys. It's been 3 months since Christmas. And here's another excuse to do that. So if we can continue to do that, and with our audience, not just the people we see in our Zoom chat now, and whoever picks this up on YouTube or whatever, you know, these people are all available for contact. And one of the biggest hurdles that I've had getting over all of this is, you know, companies are not as faceless as you think they are. If you can talk to the people at the companies, they're more than willing to talk to you and listen to what you want to do. You just have to sometimes it's down to you to make that first step. Just do it. Don't be afraid, and persevere. But there's some good things that can come out of this. So I'm really looking forward to doing more. So the next few months, I think we'll see more of Ben. And as I said, we're hoping to do more stuff with everyone in Australia as well. It's cool.
Yeah, and thanks to you, Dave. Thanks for.
That's what I said. No, I got a t-shirt.
You know, having a group of people that are super cool nerds.
Yep.
As one of the only groups I like to play online with, and you know, met some amazing people. You guys are all pretty awesome. So hopefully, yeah, you know, we got Ryan. You introduced me to Ryan, which is awesome. Josh, I got to speak one-on-one with too. Did some stuff for Joe. You guys all. I mean, it's been fantastic about how you're you know, bringing us up. But then you're gonna have like a whole wrap party where we're gonna have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and cocktails.
we are gonna do that the first time we meet up at a convention, and we need this international convention. We will do that.
Yeah,
we will do that.
Or we all have to come and play at the mansion sometime. All of us.
Yeah.
If that is something we can arrange,
ready to book my trip there. So you guys,
yeah, we're going together, Wayne. That's
yeah,
real.
I know. Me and Josh are headed over. I think my wife's invited. She just came home. But yeah, me and Josh are already headed to England.
I'd be 100% down. I don't care, as long as you have a grill or a smoker. I will even cook. We can do some brisket or ribs.
Nice. Hey, I
Shit
know.
ton of awards for ribs.
I know Alan. Alan is trying to come over.
Where are you from?
I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Originally
You're
from
in
Detroit.
Milwaukee. Oh shit! I can roll up to your place. Drew, where are you out of?
I'm in LA.
Originally from Michigan as well.
Yeah,
I'm originally from Michigan as well.
That's how I know this fucking.
And I lived in Chicago for about 6 years, and then I moved here in 2010, 2011.
Right, this is a long shot, but does anyone have access to some sort of aircraft that could just gather up more Americans and bring them to the
I do have a buddy who's a pilot.
He's a pilot.
We just have the long ship. Sorry, we're just.
Does Tango have? How much would it cost for us to have Tango rent a plane?
Too much.
Are you
Just
sure?
buy
though?
a ticket.
Are you
sure? Positive.
I'm sure
How
there's
about if
one
we
of us here that
packed it
does a
full of
flight
people?
simulator that we can maybe.
Well, you know what? Unless we did, unless we did one of those like, I can't remember what it's called, but like you can all like split the cost of a. Oh shit! Are you
You're
talking about Uber for
pilot us
planes?
in a heartbeat.
Uber plane. What?
Yeah.
Uber
Bro,
plane.
on that shit all the way. You can just play games with us too.
Oh my
shit.
lord!
Well, now this idea is in my head.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to
Fuck.
just pre-sell tickets to go play at a mansion.
Do we need a Kickstarter? Is this a Kickstarter?
We don't need
Those Americans could do a
convention should be
Kickstarter, Indiegogo.
We'll do
to
this.
get
We'll
a-
do it through Hasbro Pulse. It'll be great.
As soon as
forget
conventions are
Kickstarter.
back
Go right to
open,
Pulse.
Mansion and play
we
some
can
games.
single-handedly make it.
Thank you
make
for
it a purchase at the
boarding
booth.
D&D Airways.
Aim found it.
Critical one.
So we mentioned.
I'm on the next chat
Noel.
the other day, I'll be there, but I mean, the rest of them, we're going to have to work something out.
I have an
We have to
agenda
talk.
already from Tolkas. Tolkas gave me a
have to talk.
sausage and beer
We have to
agenda.
talk.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my god.
So
Well,
so
Tolkien told us you
Where
can
is-
take
where
us on
is
an
Tol-
entire
Where is
Winnebago trip across the whole country. So
Dude, how? Yeah.
I'd love
Where's-
it up, Jeff.
Where's Jeff?
Did he say that?
Where is he?
Jeff hasn't
Dave,
joined.
we
He's been in
invited
chat.
you- We
He's,
invited ourselves to
I
your
think he's
mansion,
gone
Dave. How
shy.
many people can it hold?
Oh, we can keep going.
lot.
We can keep going.
Can it hold?
I was going to say,
hold.
however, when we were talking about, what can we do, conventions, playing games, and
No,
stuff
no,
we've
mansion.
got lined up with Ben, we definitely do a BadgerCon.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe, was there any announcements that you wanted them to do?
Yeah, so obviously Tomb of Annihilation has finished now. This is the wrap-up party for that, but I do already have something else lined up that will be coming very shortly. And I've actually got an advert for that Dave hopefully is going to be able to play for me.
Okay,
now,
so
for everybody that's
Competition?
so everybody that's in Zoom chat, you'd have to keep an eye on the Twitch channel because you won't be able to see it in Zoom
or hear it. Needs to turn the volume on.
But yeah, so also if you don't have your sound coming out your headphones, if you can mute your mic so that you don't get any sort of like feedback loops, that'd be amazing.
I got wave. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And there may be a sort of couple of second delay whilst Dave clicks the button. So but yeah, it's what our next plan is.
Right, so everybody ready? What I'm going to do,
do.
don't leave chat, but I'm going to mute everyone on OBS now. So even if you talk, the audience can't hear you. And I'm going to play the advert now.
A world wrought with demons. Going to hell is the only way to get redemption. 5 adventures, 1 mission. This spring, join us as we descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. Action, fire, brimstone. If you make a deal with the devil, you better be prepared to dance. Band of Badgers, Descent into Avernus, coming this May.
You got to give me a day before all the people in the UK before you hand out, hey, do you want to play games? Because you motherfuckers do it while I'm sleeping. I don't get a chance to say yes.
I just love how
So-
Joe kind of made me sound a little closer to Drew. I get it.
Yeah. So
Love it. I love
thank you to Wayne for doing the voice there. I sort of came up with this concept.
Oh,
of this
man, that
advert
was Wayne?
and sent him
Nice.
that.
Nice one,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Nice,
I
dude.
thought it was.
And
So good.
I thought
so
it was.
So
down there.
I whacked it through a load of like effects to make him, or like I said to him, gave him even more gravitas, and also obviously a big thanks to Sean as well for the artwork, like alongside
That's
the
all right.
Necro Badger. This is just amazing, mate. So yeah, big thanks for that as well.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I can't wait to
replace
see
him.
the
Yeah.
whole crew.
Love it.
Yeah. So with regards to when it's starting, it's going to be the 1st of May, I believe, is the first session that we got going. There's the group who I've got going through it. I'm really excited about. So we've got Cork coming back from his previous one.
Hello,
Got Matt, who I think has just joined. Josh is going to join us as a permanent guest, permanent player rather than as a guest.
A permanent
which
guest.
I'm really excited about. A permanent guest.
Giveaways every week. We're going to clear out those bookcases for you. And I'm going to win.
So Cork is going to hell?
Yep.
Cork is
Hi,
going to
Matt.
hell.
So yeah, Matt
Where he
here
belongs.
is joining us in this as well, along with Jeff, who plays Tolkus, but is going to be playing someone totally different. So that's why I was hoping to get him on, and our friend Stacey as well, who plays in our Vason game, is joining us as well. So
Where else does
How are you
Stacey
enjoying
play?
playing in that
Where
space?
else
Right.
does Stacey play?
She plays
I was playing some vampire as well, right?
She plays a vampire.
Yeah, she does.
Where Eric is going to be joining us.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know what
nice.
I'm playing. I can't wait. I'm excited.
What are you going to
That's
play?
nice.
I just sent you
I
an
don't
email.
know. I was told I was getting given a character.
No, I just literally
Permanent-
sent you an email.
Oh, did you write me out?
Like, well,
Kind
we're
of
on the
occupied at the
street. Yeah.
moment. I don't know if you
Don't let him make one.
I
Let
love
him
how
make one.
Will in chat has put permanent guest equals hostage.
Yeah. I'm a hostage in the new stream.
It's like, I can give you a character, but
No. I can make one. I know what I will play if you want me to make one.
yeah, go ahead. What do you want to play?
Do you want me to announce it here?
Yes.
If you want to.
All right. So
Well-
I have two ones. I either want to play a Malkavian mailman,
Oh, I love it. Yes. Okay.
or I want to play a Lasombra, who their job is literally a composer for like rap music.
Either one works.
Well, I don't know what
website.
set place we're playing in, like what time frame it's happening.
I sent you the
Now.
brief.
Well,
Just now.
Yeah, no,
That's on
Vote
you.
for the
Eric.
read it
mailman.
live if you want.
I sent you the brief. You can read
the
it live or not.
shade of it all.
What year does it take place in?
It's modern, but not
All right, perfect.
pandemic.
The mailman always knocks you out.
Not pandemic?
You
Is
can
it
still go
post
to
or,
a shopping
or
mall.
is it pre?
Jessica has protocol.
It's around. Yeah, I do have protocol. I'm really prepared.
Dragonspire
post or
is
pre-pandemic?
It's whenever. There's no pandemic.
Consider it
No, it just
alternate
doesn't exist.
timeline.
It's alternate history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Damn. 'cause
Bree
as I
had,
say, I
Bree had
love
so much fun with her
pandemic
guest
blood.
spot the other day on
So,
Vampire.
Dragonspire is asking Josh whether Lars is going to be returning to Avernus. So,
Please. Can Lars
I
and
don't know,
Ivar have their own series?
Yeah, it's not going to be Lars. It's going to be Jack Toonhammer. It's going to be another character.
I'm really excited about this character. I think it's gonna be really good.
You know, the more international people that you add to Band of Badgers, the harder it's going to be for me to get all of your impersonations down. I'm working on Steve at the moment. I've got him down. Dave is next. Joe is We'll have all of your impersonations down. And Matt, I need to hear you talk more because you're very sly and quiet sometimes.
Sly and quiet. I'm a ninja. I come in from the dark, you know.
Oh yeah.
it's a false sense of security.
It is.
I see you.
I
need
see
you.
you, Matt.
Yeah.
See
We'll
you.
have to
You don't
see how much, but
You
yeah.
see me. Okay, I see you.
I see.
Oh, here we go.
I got you. I already
my
like
house.
either you died or got eaten or something like that in this campaign. I think I've almost got you. Steve, I've got. Oh, pretty much. I'll tell you that much. And then, but I'm not going to do it now. Don't ask me again. Dave is harder because Dave, depending on his mood, has a different canter to his. thing, his voice. But yes, and
That's
then
a London thing, though,
yeah.
Wayne.
So
Londoners do that.
Yeah, Drew, you're gonna have to figure someone out too, man. You're the actor here, right?
Yeah, like
Wait,
London's
I'm gonna have to figure
cadence
out-
changes all the time.
What are we doing?
All the time.
Do your best.
Sorry, I was
London
reading an
accent.
email I was just
Yeah,
sent.
no.
I
Now
think
Eric is
Wayne's challenging you to a London accent off.
I need to hear one first.
Well,
how you doing? You all right, Eric? You all right, mate?
Hello, mate. That doesn't
How you doing?
count. That's
Yeah.
Dave.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
What do you mean that's Dave?
He wants to hear a real accent.
What you can hear now is
Fake
Southerners
accent.
do London accent. He's a Southern.
No, Dave is different though. Listen to him, Dave and Joe. Everybody's got like, it's funny. You guys all say you live around the same. I was trying to figure that out. You guys all live around the same area, right?
Yeah.
Every borough.
We're South London.
Every shire.
South London.
South London.
You're
Not-
south of London.
Yeah.
You're not South London. You're south of London.
No, I mean where we grew up.
You know what Steve's from?
Yeah.
It
born
was
in Tony,
South London, South.
The
The best film I ever saw was that, oh, I can't even think of it now. But the guy's laying on the beach, and the guy who plays Ant-Man comes up to him and goes, "Oh, you sound like you're from London!" And I think that is the best American doing a London impression. That is a fantastic.
Paul Rudd?
Terrible.
Paul Rudd does it.
Sarah
Yeah.
Marshall with Paul Rudd.
No, but you call it a London accent? You guys all call yourselves, you say you have a London accent?
Well,
what do you
we have
London has an accent.
London, Northern,
Yeah.
Mid, Welsh.
It depends. Like you can.
Within London, there's
Yeah.
It'd be like 5
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
tell
you
in
could
East
drive.
London.
You could drive for like 5 minutes and hear a different accent.
If you go to East London, you probably
Yeah,
it's like
that's what I
Detroit.
heard. Steve, you have a very
Yeah,
linear-
dude. So Wayne, so like
can really
Cockney,
get- and-
correct me
and
if I'm wrong,
voice.
but Cockney is like you're only Cockney if you're within like a 4 square mile range of
the Bells.
of,
That is
Yeah,
Bells.
Bells. Yeah, yeah.
The only Cockney you
I'm talking
can
not,
like
not
it's-
doing the accent. I'm talking
it's
the
all over
impression
the
of
place.
the person. All these people,
Oh,
all
sure.
of you have such wonderful voices. I love it.
That's kind of.
Dave is
So
completely
flattering.
different than Joe,
I
and,
think we sound
Joe
shit.
has this warm-hearted, wonderful voice that and I'm like, how do I get that? And then, Steve is kind of a little more leery and just kind of, I don't know. I just have this thing where I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
Oh, go down that rabbit hole.
Cool, blimey, Mary Poppins.
Right, Governor. Please, sir. May I have some more?
The worst English accent in the history of English accents ever.
Cool.
It's like a very, very down to proof. And Dave can be up and about, he's like up here. So I'm gonna work on Dave right now. I'm working on Steve. So next episode I'll debut my with
Steve
Steve.
voice?
I'll do
I think
you.
Oh man.
the
You gotta
best.
get
The way you describe him, it sounds like he's a bit of a musical Michael Caine.
Oh my gosh!
I told you.
Yeah.
Right? My name is Michael
You
Caine.
never see them in the same room.
But
so-
Dave says as soon as we start these streams, I change my pitch and my cadence and everything. He every time he says when we're off and just talking normally, when I talk on here, this is my DM's voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you use your
Because you have the headphones on, eh?
My
use
Fenrir
your
voice
customer
is
service
totally
voice.
I use my customer service voice. I use my
Afternoon.
yes.
The best story I heard was from Wayne, where when Wayne said the first time he came on to play some games with us, and I think his wife was listening, and he said their accents, their English accents, they're amazing. There must be their role playing is fantastic. And we said, no, they're English.
I know.
Well,
I
you
have
guys
to play with boring
it's gonna
American
be
accents
well
all the
played,
time,
Steve.
or people
Yeah,
try
yeah.
and do an accent. I'm like, oh gosh, okay, yeah, it's fantasy, but I'm dying here. And I have, we have people here in Omaha that are from England that have it, and I'm never trying. You never do that, even when you get drunk. Now, I would sit there and work with her. I'm like, tell me how to do this and this, and where's this from? But then you have to get the person's but if you're doing there's a difference between doing an accent and doing an impersonation. So if I impersonate Dave or Steve or Joe, They will completely sound completely different. You've all got different accents. You've all got different canters to your voice, and you all have different voice sounds. That's the beauty of it, right?
It's almost like we're all a different person.
Oh my!
Oh, nailed it.
Mind blown.
Fucking blew my mind.
Oh my God, Matt.
There's a request today for you to attempt to join the accent. Please.
Yeah,
Say again?
attempted Geordie accent. Yeah, good luck with
Geordie
that.
accent, please.
My,
I love traveling to the States.
my oboe accent.
Right.
Wayne,
Americans never
Wayne,
seem to be
have you
able to
ever
pick.
heard?
Dave as well, London.
Oh, sorry.
David Roland.
That's right. I was gonna say, Americans seem to have trouble picking an Australian accent that's not "Hey, how you going, mate?" And so I get. Are you from Britain? No. Are you from New Zealand? No. Are you from South Africa? No. Definitely not.
I was told I had a Californian accent, which is weird. When I went to Alaska and I had some time there, and there's you're in the military, so you have all these people from all over the place. They looked at me and they're like, "Oh, hey, California kid, man, you got you have an accent." I'm like, "I don't have a Californian accent. What the, dude? What are you talking about, man?"
You guys.
I'm like, no, but literally when I went back out, like in Omaha,
Not like that. Oh,
America,
no.
we are like we were the telemarketing, like capital of the world, because nobody had accents here apparently, and. But you just go a state down, a state up, back and forth, and you get all these different kind of weird dialects from different parts of America. And I can't really do an Oklahoma accent or an Alabama. I can probably do an Alabama. We usually default to just Southern, because right south of us, who cares?
Yeah.
So Steve
That's
was
like in October I do a scare thing where basically it's like a haunted thing, and we chase people around with chainsaws and all that sort of crazy stuff.
Haunted house.
A murder mystery where you kill people.
And no. So it's like
haunted house.
Scare attractions type thing. There's like 5 or 6 different ones, and
They're called haunted houses out here.
Okay.
Like
and
this
we play like hillbillies and stuff.
Yeah,
and so it's like
exactly.
constant like deep South America.
Do it, Joe. Do one.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Do one
find
now.
out. We don't give a shit.
need the
My
chainsaw
family's from the
first.
south.
You do your English accent and I'll do one.
No, I can't, because you English do an American accent way better. You take all the roles. I mean, we know.
Laura. Hold on.
You ain't
So-
from
We
around
sound
here,
like
boy, are ya?
idiots trying to play
This is true.
TV.
This is true.
So in live chat, Steve was trying to point out that Laura Bones was asking for a Geordie accent. I think Laura Bones is from Runelanders. So I'm sure she's already heard my Geordie, which is what I use for oboe.
You're butchering a Geordie accent.
But oboe is like that. Oboe is like, I like that. Like, how you doing? Like, I mean, it's all about the in the back of the throat, like.
Side of the country.
But it's like
Isn't that a
I'm a druid, man.
Yeah, I thought it was
I'm a
just-
druid and I'm moving
Scouse.
from tree to tree. Like, I mean, it's just doing bits and pieces. All I want to do is, I mean, could you give me some gold? I mean, I just want one gold. Just give me one gold and I'll go away. But that's a nice hat you got there. I mean, and Matt's joined us now, and it's all kinds of people here now. But I'm here and I'm making some spells. And when I'm doing my spells, I want to know exactly what's going on. Did he die? He's got an axe in the back of his head. I don't know why. It wasn't me who put it there. Cork, is that you? Oh, Cork's even gone now, and I don't know where he's gone. But what can I do? I mean, is it me, like, do I talk too much? I mean, is it the back of my head? I don't know. It came there, was there, now he's alive, now he's dead. I don't know what's going on. Is this all, I don't know where, I don't even know where to start, you know?
One man.
There we go.
Multiple accents.
I should have eaten you with the King of Feathers, just throwing it out there.
That's definitely.
When you went up to the King of Feathers trying to do this whole thing from Crocodile Dundee, right? I actually rolled a dice to see whether he ate you or whether he teleported, and he teleported and into the back line of all the squishy stuff. And
You should have stacked that roll.
yeah, oh mate, it was so tempting just to be like, home.
That would have been good.
Like, yeah. It was like, does he eat the turtle?
Has anybody, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Has anyone here played Samborum yet? Am I pronouncing that correct from Freely? Cymbarum? Is it Cymbarum? Samborum's a way better name, but sure, we'll go with Cymbarum.
Just like a minion. Yeah.
That is one of my favorite pieces to ever be art directed. It is so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I want to play that.
Dave, I remember you
so
saying like you guys were going to do a run of that game,
We
weren't
are.
you? Weren't you going to?
We are.
Okay.
So you are doing it.
It's going to be, we're talking end of spring, probably summer. But that's a good reference. That teased me up into something else.
It's like I have show notes and I don't have them.
Steve's like, stick to the schedule.
So well, there is no schedule. But so for everyone who's watching on Twitch, and again, people in Zoom, you won't see this unless you're looking at Twitch. Here is I'm going to put on screen. This is a sneak peek at what we're doing next month in April. Now, for those of you in Twitch who are watching it now, you'll see that Fridays and Saturdays are empty. That's because the Friday Tomb of Annihilation is now finished. We're going to give Joe a few weeks to get organised, to get ready, just because he needs a rest. However, you may notice that Monday, our Great British Brush Off show is now going to be weekly. So we're bringing that weekly, which means we get to use our paint sticks. Whatever these things are called.
I didn't know that. No, I did, Brendan.
So that's moving to Monday. That's moving to. So we've got a lot of going on April. However, there's more because May.
But wait,
this is what we're doing.
There's more.
Here is May. May, we're pretty much streaming every night of the week. With a bit of everything. So Wednesdays we got a few gaps. We will be filling those gaps with bits and pieces. There's a ton of stuff going on. We're going to launch a brand new Starfinder adventure path called Fly Free or Die. Steve is going to GM that. We're putting a team together as we speak. And then at the same time on Saturdays, so Joe is moving from Fridays to Saturdays with Descent into Avernus, as we've already shown you.
I would love to have played in that.
Well, we have to. Let us get the dates out. And then
pack your bags and go on a guilt trip.
Here we go, Eric. Here we go. So the other stuff we got going on. Keep looking at your screen, Eric. Keep looking at your screen.
It's so fucking funny. He literally sent it to me and he's like, "You interested?" I woke up. He's like, "It's full." I'm like, "What the
You have to be quicker.
It needs to be quicker.
Now, this on screen now.
Whenever we call, you gotta be
on screen now is the year for. On screen now is the year for 2021. Shush! I mute everyone. So on screen now is 2021. They can't see us, so you just stop talking. Is everything we've got going on. Now, some of this is subject to change. However, we will also be doing various other guest appearances. I'm happy to say that Jamie has invited us on to do some painting on the Gazetteers. But we want to be doing some more stuff as well. So we're looking at doing some charity fundraisers during spring and summer. We'll also be doing some more work with Free League, which we're really looking forward to doing. And literally all kinds of stuff is coming this way, including one-shots. I mentioned the charity stuff. But we want to be able to cross the streams as well. So, some of the things we're hoping to do lots more in terms of the games which is going on. And we'll also be doing some kind of spotlight interviews as well. So we're going to be talking to the creators of some of these games, writers and artists. But also, not just that, manufacturers. So manufacturers of D&D paraphernalia, role-playing game, all kinds of bits and pieces, where we can do a review, an unboxing with those creators of those pieces, and do something like that as well. So we've got a lot coming on, and something I forgot to put on the other screen. Where can I find it? I don't know.
You told me to hold on like you had a cure to this me not being an Avernus thing. I haven't seen one.
No, well,
I'm sure we can shoehorn you in.
Stop talking, Eric.
Yeah.
We do like an Eton or something, one with an Australian accent, one with an American accent. We can have this like two head things going on, Eric.
I can do Australian. I can do it.
That would be amazing.
If I listened, I could practice it and do it for sure.
Australian.
We can
have a multi-headed
busy as hell starting May.
multi-headed dragon with two different people playing each of the heads. That'd be amazing.
So cool from different parts.
That's what I'm saying. We can just do that.
How many GMs do you have running everything now? How many GMs do you have between
We
now
have
and
5 GMs right now. But we're looking at more. We're also looking at whatever we can do. We don't know what we are. Are we a channel? Are we a network? I don't know. But
and how many of those shows do you have to produce single-handedly? Like how many are you sitting behind the screens doing all the TD stuff?
I was doing Tomb of Annihilation, Runelords, I helped Lee with the vampire designs, but Lee has taken on GMing and producing. Joe is also for Avernus. He's going to be DMing and producing. So again, I don't have to be there.
A shit computer, mate.
Nice.
And Steve also does DMing and producing on Starfinder. But yeah, we currently have 5 active GMs, but we are looking at doing more things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
As I was going to say, if you're producing all that, I will give you a round of applause, because me doing 5 shows a week right now, getting ready to bump to 7, it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to hire, I would happily jump ship for a Twitch
Do you produce
position.
for other people then, or is it just for your show? Or
Yeah, I produce for other streams.
can you? Okay.
I teach OBS classes, and I teach people how to set things up, and I also go through like how to either build your own overlays or how you can purchase overlays and actually make them your own. I just did that for a friend of Drew and I's. And then just the whole 9 yards. It depends on what package you want, but I teach some classes on it, because while I like Harris Heller is one of the best sources for like learning real basic stuff for OBS. There are other ones out there that are even more detailed. Sometimes the stuff that you're doing just doesn't get answered in those calls and or in those videos. And the only way that can happen is having someone you can actually talk to do it. Like I technical direct and audio fix this guy's shit. I'm pointing this way
All the time. He's pointing to me. He's pointing to me through the two of you.
Here, yeah, I had it right. This guy over here, fixing his stuff all the time. But I just found that like I love helping people learn new things, because I as a person, because my father, like I pick up a new skill every month, try to learn it, and either keep it or decide it's not for me every month. As like one of the things I do, I have a part of my day set aside to learning something new. And I find that I've watched my father age, and I've watched him only become better at all the stuff that he does because he does that as someone who's technically inclined. And I was like, well, geez, if that's how you keep your brain sane short of something horrible happen, I'll fucking learn something new every month. Let's go. And that's that. We do it because of him. He doesn't know that. I can't tell him that because I would never live it down.
Yeah. I've just seen Dave put the other badger in. That's really cool.
Yeah,
but that's like a purposeful jack of all trades.
Nice.
Which I admire,
It is
because
100% on purpose.
I am not the purposeful jack of all trades, yet all my life I have been. And so when one wanders through life wondering what they're supposed to do with themselves because they do all these different things, it's to me, I'm like jealous. You're like I'm just gonna do all these things on purpose.
I didn't make that
That's
decision.
awesome.
I didn't make that decision till probably 3 or 4 years ago. Like up until then, with you, I was just like, "What's new? What can I do? I'm bored."
But you're that kind of person. You're like, "Hey, I'm doing. Yeah, you're experiencing the human experience.
Yeah,
you're living the human experience. Yeah."
But I saw your schedule, Dave, and I was like,
that
"There's no way he's
person. I sleep
producing
a
all
lot.
this, or he can duplicate himself."
There
And if
are-
so, I need to learn that part.
Yeah, there are definitely things that we can do, and we're talking, as always, we're talking to everyone. Communication is key, and anyone who is up for supporting that, or joining the Badgers for play games, to come on and do streams, or just ideas in general, then we're open to all of that.
Yeah, your growth has been amazing. The amount of content that you guys have pumped out has been pretty fucking astounding.
Yeah, and it's
It's not everybody who can say that they're banned in all nations.
Exactly.
It's very true.
We're just trying to do. We're just trying to do whatever we can. Make some new friends all around the world. Again, so a lot of you have heard me say this before, but I never thought that I'd be talking to people all around the world. But the day job, even doing a comic shop, yes, we talk to a lot of people in the States, but we only really talk to the creators during convention time.
Yep.
The only good thing that's kind of come out of a global pandemic is when everyone's at home, everyone reaches out on screen, and we don't have conventions to go to, but this allows us to reach out, but not be confined to a timescale. We can do this, meet up, and then continue to share stories, games, ideas, whatever it is, over time. And I enjoy it, and that's why I spend a lot of time. Steve knows, because I end up any idea I brainstorm it with Steve first, and it's just it's a lot of I've got this idea. What do you think? Steve's like, nah.
No,
Don't do that.
He's like Kickstarter. No.
I do have to say, as a relative newcomer to the
Yeah. Steve tells him no, then Dave calls me.
My British friend said no.
What was you going to say, Sean?
As a relative newcomer to the community, my background's always been in animation and prop making for movies and all sorts of other creative things. I've just been welcomed into the fantasy community, yes, D&D community, but the wider RPG games as a whole. Everyone is just so welcoming, and they've all been brilliant. And to just get involved with it has been fantastic. And yeah, if I've worked with you, thank you.
And just to point out, because there's no adverts going on, and I don't know if we've mentioned it already, but Sean is the creator of our cartoon badges. He is our resident badger cartoonist.
Nice.
You'll see more of his stuff. You've seen the stuff in the other streams, I'm sure. But he's our cartoonist, so any idea, he talks it through. As Lee mentioned earlier, there's so much there. So it's
so animated Drist is on you, is what I just heard.
Right.
Yeah, I've been trying to get
Drist Warden.
Yeah. I've been trying to get Sean to do cartoons for years. He does a lot of children's books, children's illustrations, and stuff like that.
No, we got to do
for writers.
art print. We need an art print.
Sean, if you ever want a voiceover for narration for any of those books, you let me know, dude.
Oh, down.
An art print.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of voice after the last party we had here. I was like, oh my god.
I know. I was like missing Dave. Like his voice is amazing.
In a world where everything's.
You have RPGs.
Welcome.
Did you want a
It's great
total
until he's
party?
snoring in your ear.
Yeah.
God. This is how we sound next to our wives. The new hit summer comedy, Turn the Badgers.
Just joining us, everyone, is Chris Sizemore, DM Jarpo.
Hello.
Hi.
Chris.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Hey. How y'all doing?
Oh, he's here for birthday parties, isn't he? Where's my magic trick?
Yeah, that's right. Birthday parties. That is right.
Birthday parties. Magic trick.
Yes, I'm here for birthday parties.
And how to banish people 101.
Yes.
Click.
Banish.
Taxi wizards.
I don't think Steve's still got over that yet.
No, look at his face. No.
A little bitter there. Hey, it would have been a lot worse. Trust me. That's the least of what I had planned.
I've heard what you had planned.
Oh, really?
So Chris,
all my secrets?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, gang.
Cool.
No worries.
So Chris, just asking, were you watching on Twitch, or did you just kind of click the link and come in cold?
I'm cold. I can't.
It was like, what have I just fucking walked into? Who are all these people?
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, neither do we. It's fine.
2 coffees with alcohol. Don't worry, it's fine.
Professional. And
we could catch you up on the important bits. There was Geordie accents. There was the Z&D movie. There was the A-Team. There was really briefly. There was the thing about dragons and how they're not good anymore.
We got presents from Dogmite.
There was bragging. Yeah, there was bragging.
It's bragging.
There was lots of bragging. Yeah. There was some very cool dogmas. There was charity organisations about getting more people, more Indigenous people in Australian tech. There was cartoons. Did I miss anything?
Terrible.
I found out that I'm playing in Vampire and just got my script today.
Yeah. There was the third Twilight movie causing epilepsy.
Yeah. What does it cause epilepsy?
Well, careful.
I had epilepsy first, and I had a seizure.
Dude, that's good. We need someone like Jamie to do
epilepsy from the cartoon. Yeah.
We need Jamie to play in some games, because he's just like that is just gone in his memory. So
Yeah,
we need to
on my
like
way to
episode
Invasion
recap. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cork report.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what
and me fucking with Dave
Yeah.
for not getting me an Avernus because it was too late. He sent it to me while I was asleep. There's that part. too.
Do you, Eric, do you want to be in Starfinder? No. Okay.
No. Fucking hate your equipment is the equivalent to Diablo, and if you don't give your characters equipment, they just die. I'm out.
Don't hold back.
I love Pathfinder.
Yeah,
Paizo, I love
yeah.
it. Where you just upgrade Starfinder to PF2E. It's what you need to do. We all know it.
Next year.
Also, Eric has a very nice satin beer can, and he goes and throws rocks at the brewery next door.
Oh yeah.
I do. So when I just left, I literally walked to the brewery and grabbed beer and came back. That's what I just went to.
I'm gonna go do that, but with water.
So, have you guys seen this?
Shadows of Estrin.
Shadow of Estrin?
Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
this map pack? This is maybe like the biggest throwback to box sets in a long time. There's like cooking stuff in here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dave and I were
6,
talking about that game
7.
last time we chatted.
7 maps, and then they have heraldry cards. There's like one of the most put together art companies. Or sorry to say art, but art for a tabletop game.
Nice.
I like that.
I'm doing this the wrong way.
Gorgeous. Look at them.
Fucking asshole.
You are.
Yeah, they're lovely.
This is even the maps, and they're all poster maps. On top of
We
it.
were at Gen Con, not the
gorgeous.
last Gen Con, but the second to last Gen Con that we actually had. My wife and I were both there together because she came with, and she came up to me and she's like,
It was our first Gen Con, wasn't it?
yeah. She's like, I did a thing. I was like, what? She's like, so I went to this table and I saw this journal and I was like, this is really cool. And they were like, oh yeah, that's actually part of the the pack for like if you get the like developers pack or whatever it was, you get that journal for free. She's like, oh, pack for what? And it was the table for that game for Shadows of Estrin. So she's like, wow, this art's really cool. Okay, and she bought the whole thing.
It's so gorgeous.
The journal.
It's so
I was like,
gorgeous.
God damn it! But
It's
yeah,
the same artist for all of it, correct, Drew?
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
When your wife buys it and you don't have to worry about buying it because she approved it already. And it's like a Kickstarter. You're like, it's the best.
No, well, she wasn't my wife then, but now she is. We got married.
Why,
now.
there you go. That was the.
That sealed the
You
deal.
just have
It
to
worked
feign concern that the money
Was that-
is a good thing.
was that the
oh, honey,
engagement?
do you think we could afford it? Yes.
Yeah, it's like that long running joke, isn't it? I'm really worried that my when I die, my partner's going to sell my minis for the price that I told her I paid for them.
You better hope she doesn't do that while you're still around.
I had 2,000
But,
magic
like,
cards from
It
like,
came
the
with
beta series.
a bunch
and
of
my
stuff. Like it
ex-wife
came with.
gave it away.
You gave away your magic cards, Wayne?
No, my ex-wife
What?
did. Yeah, I didn't. I forgot
She's
to
your
get them
ex-wife?
when I left the house, and my ex-wife, she called me later, like 2 years later, when we were actually talking and not yelling at each other. She was like, "Yeah, I have a confession to make. I gave your all of your magic collection, magic cards, to a friend of mine at work who was having a wedding, and so I gave it to him as a wedding present, and he was really, really happy."
Wait,
I'm like, wait, that was
As you
when
would be.
Magic first came out, and I had cards from like when it. I'm sure. Oh gosh, yeah.
You know hitmen are real, correct?
Yeah, we.
What a wedding gift that is. Here's about 50,000 grand.
Can you imagine
Joy.
Drew and I have a person that we know. I would say friend, but it's too strong of a word. That has a bunch of magic cards and a bunch of luggage, and he would tow the luggage around with him to go play Magic. So it was just full of boxes. Could you imagine if someone gave away all of his Magic cards? Well, I think he would explode. I think he would just explode on sight.
I think it would cause spontaneous combustion. Like
100%.
He would just light on fire.
Man, I had somebody give away an Ice Age card, and I was mad. And that was back when Ice Age came out.
Yeah, what do you do when your ex-wife does it though? I mean, you're already mad at her.
Hitmen are real.
Can't get madder, I guess, but you can. But you know.
So the whole it's right here. So I wanted to show you guys. So the Shadows of Estrin books. There's 4.
Can't see what you're pointing at all.
They're different widths. I know.
We needed like a tour of the bookcase again now.
Just picture them.
God damn it.
See, Josh, this is what we need to do with your bookcases. We need like a
There we
tour
go.
Oh yeah.
around the house.
Yeah.
So the Shadow of Estern books, like they're right here.
Still can't see it.
Right next to me.
I see a door.
His arm's out here. Can you see it? No. Bring the phone
Pointing
closer.
at anything right now.
All I know is now all of my
it's
fucking
great.
stuff
Yeah,
for
no.
all of our streams is gonna be fucked up because he moved his camera.
Your beard looks great. I'll tell you that. Your beard,
Camera is
your
golden.
facial hair is amazing.
Thank you.
Hey, Drew, please tell me you have tape wherever you have that set so it's not fucked up when we go back to do Athantia and Fenrir tomorrow.
No, it's just in the middle of my monitor. I'm an artist. I know where the middle of
Well,
something is.
now it's in the middle, but to the left. So yeah, fine.
And now it's not the same. You fucked it all up.
Couple squabbles.
So anyway,
couple squabbles. Is horrible.
That a skill that all artists have, knowing the exact middle of something.
You need tape.
It is actually.
You just fold it in half.
We can hang
So anyway, so on top
site.
of those 7 books plus the map pack, they also had this book of short stories that go with the world and a soundtrack.
Like, you've just shown no.
Wow.
Like that's plus the journal that's just a fucking journal, but it has the same art on it. Like that's everything she got in this pack that she bought. So
Nice.
it was a pretty good deal.
The best
Let's
mechanic
talk
in there is
soundtracks.
combat.
So how
They have it
important is like music and soundtracks to your game now that we're playing a lot in Roll20 and Zoom chats? Do you guys
Streaming,
ever,
it's
you know,
huge, but DMCA is the hard part.
What
like,
do you mean?
Like Norse Foundry puts out a bunch of DMCA free music so that when you're streaming, you don't get hit
Oh,
with
that,
shit.
yeah.
Which is great, and I use that. But I want somebody out there to make a soundtrack where, like, when I need and like some form of ambiance, it's like a fucking 30-minute track.
Or
like
I
a
got
10
someone.
minute
I
track.
know someone. This was a oh my gosh. I have to.
Is
throw
it
his guy's name out there.
DMCA free?
You can.
If it's not,
can-
then I don't care.
You can commission.
No, it doesn't work that way because if they have a license, even if they say I can use it, they'll still pull it. And then you got to write them and say, no, I have permission. And then you got to wait. It could be like 60 fucking days.
No, I mean,
to
like
4 months.
a beautiful that you bought the track just for that purpose. And
No, I
then-
need more than one. That doesn't work. I need like 20 of these
Well,
motherfuckers.
you could work out something with it, but like his music is phenomenal, and he has like 20-minute tracks for like Curse of Strahd and Winter's
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Rime, and it's just
You should
it
put
just
him on
sounds
Spotify.
on point.
Stick,
So,
Chris,
yeah,
stick the link in live chat. If you know.
Yeah, put the link
oh
in chat.
yeah, let me get
For
it.
at-home stuff, it'd be great.
What do you think? What do you think about creating encounters and/or adventures? And what I was doing was just making up my own sound effects. Like I would narrate the player text, the flavor text. So I do a narration, add sound effects, all that stuff for each encounter for Dungeon Crates, and we put it out. And so we have my friends write these, and people that we meet write these encounters, and we put in the sound effects, and we put in the like I tried to make a kind of library, kind of like Simonscape has like sound effects for different things, and I was crunching stuff, making all sorts of sound effects for it. Would you guys when you play this stuff though, do you think that people would actually like to have either sound effects for spells and clashes and whatnot? I mean, they have Sirenscape, you can use all of that and they're pretty formatted, but for an independent company, anybody doing a Kickstarter, anybody writing their own adventures, do you think that having something with that as a
I think price of entry is the #1 question that would be brought up.
What if it's free for your membership kind of thing, and I put it up there and you put it up there and you have your own sounds?
Then the next is usability.
Foley.
If you just give me a bunch of MP3s and it's not like a soundboard or something, that's a little more difficult. If you have them all set up to work through soundboard on a phone app, that would be great for people.
Really?
Because it needs to be easy in the
have
moment.
it specific for the adventure or the encounter.
Oh, for your adventure? Yeah, that's awesome. That's totally different. You got it queued basically then for what you're playing through. Yeah, I do that for my audio guided adventures.
Have they don't have some new DMs maybe don't have necessarily the they want to describe the thing, and that's why I tried to write all of our flavor text in a way that even if you aren't a writer and you can't you can read it as a DM, but if you're a new DM, you want to be able to tell your players something really cool, and so we're writers, so we write this really cool script for the players to have, and I would just voice it out like you enter a tomb there, the whole thing, and you put it out there so you can play that for your players if you can't do it. And then there's sound effects for like here's the
Take care,
All
Ben.
the
Sorry,
flavor
I know you've got to run, but yeah, thanks for joining us, mate. So,
Cheers, Ben.
See you, Ben. Nice meeting you, dude.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
We'll see you again we'll see you again on the Badgers very soon.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
That's not bad.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think.
Wayne,
in
actually, I
terms
was
of-
gonna say that if you were doing like the I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I just wanted to throw out there that there's something, to me, there's something, I don't know, something that just pulls that if you do it with your voice, the sound effects with your voice, I don't know, to me it seems more nostalgic almost. If you're capable of doing it. You could do some different atmospheric thing. But it's yes, pew, 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 pew. You're right on the money with that one for sure. But if you can work on it as a DM, you can kind of throw out the sound effects and like make a sound of earthquake with a or as fire, you know, and it's just simple things like that. That kind of get the. I like that better than I do the actual literal spell sounds. Then yeah, that's just my personal.
Wayne, how are you thinking of putting those out?
Well, I was putting those with for a while. It just depends on when I feel like doing them. But I would put that in our digital crate. So you get the crate, you get the adventure, you get the crate cards that have the pictures of, say, your magic item or your main foe with all the information for the DM on one side, but a big picture for the people that are either on Zoom or Roll20 to see. And then I thought, I've been podcasting for 15 years and doing voiceover work for all that time too. And I was just like, I just wanted to do like my own version of it to kind of inspire. Because what the problem is that I get a lot of people that are like, I'm just getting into DMing. I'm just getting started doing this. And I'm, and I would go through other people's homebrew modules and it wouldn't have like the old school stuff where here's exactly what you would say to the players, what they see. And so I would narrate
Flavor
that
text.
I would narrate the flavor text so they can just click it, and then they have a very atmospheric description just of the flavor text, and the DM can take it over from there. But to me, it was like a tool to help new DMs get confident with telling a story, and that's what I think it misses the mark on a lot of new DMs. They're either used to video games or a lot of people are very by the numbers. This is what happens. Roll. Okay, this is what I got. But there's no atmosphere.
I've always found with the flavor text, it always gives you the visual element, but it never gives you what the smells are or what the feels are. So like, if it's raining or if anything, like any of the other senses, it only literally gives you your visual senses half the time.
Sometimes it changes. So a soundtrack that goes through the entire game may not just like here you're in the sewers here, so you have sewer sounds and whatever, but literally it's all you got to give the players is that flavor text, and all of a sudden their minds start going. And once you even give that flavor text and you have a sound effect or you have some atmospheric music that is really dedicated to that particular encounter, they're going to fill in the rest in your mind, and the players are going to be like into it. And then you as a DM have a little bit more, I guess, control or a little head start on getting the players to where they can remember. The thing is that I don't like about playing via Roll20 or virtually I look at it like, can I remember that adventure the next day? Can I picture in my, when I was a kid, we had none of this. It was really up to the DM to describe it and really paint the picture. And I could still tell you what some of those adventures were when I was 15 years old. And yet I can play on a Roll20 game and I can't even tell you the next week what we did.
It's locked into your
But I will
spatial
say,
memory.
I think when you're a kid, though, what your brain is filled with compared to being an adult is different. I think having the extra aspects that you're talking about are the things that us as adults can signal off of and remember and bring nostalgia in an older age than it did when you're a child. So having the sound effect, having the visual, having the animated map, having the miniature on the table, the things that we now prize as memories are different than what they were as kids. me being able to describe what a dragon looks like as a kid is an achievement, but as an adult, for myself, isn't as much of an achievement because dragons suck. So
it's all full circle.
One of those things though, that I think
discussed earlier. If you're just coming in, rewind.
That's a
back.
callback 2 hours ago.
Here's the thing for me. Like I have only written, I've only ran 2 pre-written modules in my entire life. Period. I ran the first one. I was like, man, this was boring. And I had to study, which makes it doubly boring.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, oh shit, fuck this.
Oh, that's
yeah.
I hear you on that.
So I did
I
that,
ran
and then
my first
later
pre-written
on,
one
Rise
last
of the
year during the pandemic.
Yeah, Rise of the Runelords came out. I became friends with Paizo, and they're like, hey, man, you should try running Rise of the Runelords. They handed me the book, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like Dungeon and Dragon Magazine. I can, like, pull pieces out of it and build my own thing. And then I sat down to read it. I was like, why am I getting monologued by a story that nobody gets to fucking learn until the 6th fucking book that isn't fucking out?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Nope. I ran the first part of that book, and I was like,
new
I'm out.
players, a lot of new players that haven't played, for a long time, and then they get all this backstory that the DM's supposed to remember that never
Stop
even
jerking off in my face.
Player, and to me, it defeats it kind of puts the new DM. It might kind of defeat
I
them.
love story when that story gets used in the adventure. Like if something comes out that's super important and like, warning, this is happening in chapter 5, like that little bit of extra element that tells a new GM, hey, we are telling you this because I promise you this is coming up this adventure. That's fine. But when it's just the writers spilling out, they should just write a novel. Stop writing adventures. Yeah. It's not the same thing.
So, Matt's gonna have to shoot. So, big thanks for stopping by, Matt. Looking forward to having you on Avernus, and I think it's gonna be
Avernus.
so good.
Honestly, can't wait.
Yeah, man.
Well, Matt, I'm doing your artwork, mate.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. I thought I
Yeah.
gave you someone to really play with that day.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's gonna be epic. I'm really excited. You're gonna love it. You'll laugh,
really-
cry, it'll change your life.
I'm really excited.
It changed my life.
Oh god!
Yeah.
I've got to work the next day and be like, "Hi,
That's so good. So, like, what I got everyone to do was, I think, much like what Dave did with the Runelords, like, was get everybody to have their own page, and they just put lots of pictures of what their character should look like, a little brief description of what their character does, and their backstory and whatnot. And then Sean's kind of, let's say you got Elias there. Sean's really sort of brought them to life.
Actually, Sean,
That's awesome.
I need to change mine completely. So
Yeah.
instead of a male, it'll be a female.
You can do that, right? You're an artist.
Instead of a bow, can I have an axe?
There's a bloke in Runelords who keeps changing his appearance. It's really weird.
He's a shifter. Run.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So much ink.
Yeah, you're wasting my monitoring.
So I'm just coming in here, and I'm trying to catch up on everything, on what everybody's doing. Wayne, what is it that you do with the sounds and stuff? It sounds like you've got a product involved.
Yeah,
Records
I have a-
voicemails for you.
I just have this tiny little thing called Dungeon Crate that I do. It's really, I have a subscription box service. Again, Gen Con, I went to Gen Con. I love the vendor floor. So I came home and I was like, I'm going to get me a D&D box. Nobody had one.
Yeah.
So I made
We're going to get all our boxes.
and I was the
Everyone's
first
got
one
one.
to do
Oh,
so.
mine's in the other
5
room.
years
I don't want
ago.
to go get that.
And oh my gosh,
Everyone's
And I
showing
feel
the love.
Bad now for anybody
I've
that's
got
not
Wayne's
sure
right
that
here.
I need. Sean, send me your email if you don't
Everybody
have
go buy a dungeon crate.
Yeah.
Get you some dungeon crate.
Mine's
I
still
have
not.
my favorite
I
thing in
just
here, by
had
the It's
the
bookmark,
thing is
by the
that
way.
now nobody. So I came out and I did I wanted to do assessment. Everything you find on the vendor floor, I wanted to bring to your castle door.
Yeah.
Guys, monthly thing, Adventures.
Cool.
A bunch of people writing adventures and coming up with their own. Like I created a map and I do all. I'm a jack of all trades.
Oh
I'm not
man,
character, but
that'll save me so much time for my home games where
Yeah,
I'm just constantly crafting little parchment papers and whatever.
dude, I know, yeah, and I did that too. So I'm an artist and a crafter, and that's how I started. I was on DM
Yes.
Scotty's YouTube page and DMG
Got
Info,
you.
and I interviewed them, and we talked, and I would post all this stuff. I had Worlds of Wanecraft as my YouTube channel and my Facebook site. So Worlds of Wanecraft, I was doing terrain and boats and big dragon heads and all these props and models.
Yeah.
And so when I did Dungeon Crate, it was like I just wanted to give people stuff that, you know, what do you need? You know, I could order, you know, and I wasn't even ordering. I was just getting local vendors or, you know, different vendors together, and I would get them. I want everybody to get adventures, encounters, and anything we came up with. So we started coming up with all these new things, like, hey, let's do a pad of paper with an initiative tracker on it, because I want that, and you know, it would be very handy. And I would start cutting things, like I need tokens and I need things that nobody's doing, and so we put all those in. And we've been doing it 5 years, and just kind of, you know, just getting to know people. And we are now, I think, the only subscription box, RPG subscription box, accessory subscription box that does what I do. Everybody else has kind of gone to either, like, no matter how you sign up, you start at Adventure 1, or it's all print, or it's all that. And we're the only ones that I'm sourcing. I mean, and it's stressful and maniacal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's the one thing I didn't want to do. I
wands
really
of
just
writing,
wanted to have an
like-
online store.
Oh yeah, the one
where people come to me and pay me money, and I give them things, and everybody's happy. And now I'm doing things where I'm spending everybody's money on the same thing, and now I'm, you know, so it's like, but it's like I'm the only one doing it, so I want to keep doing it. I've been able to get stuff in and help small businesses. I've been able to you know, donate a lot of stuff to a lot of charities and a lot of people that are doing work with kids and getting, you know, my whole goal is to just get them, you know, like that. And on the side, I get to play with people like, well, yeah. And so now I've been, like I said, I was doing podcasting for 15 years.
Yeah.
I've trained in voiceover work and all that stuff. So I didn't want to compete with Sirenscape or anybody doing sound effects and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to do things for my members where they could log into their digital crate and download just that sound group for that
that's
encounter.
actually nice. Yeah. That's good. That's a good idea.
Goblin sounds, orc sounds, beholder sounds.
Really describe it, man. Think about if you're a kid.
Oh yeah.
And you can just click that, and all of a sudden the flavor text with sound effects and everything blows up, and the kids are like,
sweet. That's
go
pretty.
through the bestiary A to Z and do sound effects for each monster.
Right? Yeah.
God. See, that's.
You know,
I think that's.
You don't even know.
I think
I'm
that's
doing shit in. I'm doing Foley. I love Foley.
Oh
Like,
yes,
right?
yes.
I'm doing my own sound effects. You want to clang? I will go get my fencing swords that I do longsword fencing, and I will clang them together.
That's
for
awesome. You know, I've had this thing.
Celery things for bones and stuff like that, you know, and then
I haven't done this before, but I've always had this this idea that I could, as a DM, I have all my stuff to the table. I haven't played locally for too long, but back when I did play locally, I would bring in the miniatures and all the other packages of stuff that I got, but I want to add in foliage as well, little different things to sound effects, like a steel rod and a knife as you shing shing shing, sharpening as you're all right. Yeah, what's that you say about that? Oh, like you get the player's attention immediately when you have that thing. I just never I never took the plunge for that, and I thought, man, how much would I have to carry with me? I feel like I would have so much.
Like, it's all around your home. You should do it.
Get all my stuff.
I mean, think about it. You just record a little bit of bytes. You can do it easily in any recording program.
That's
I do
true.
it in Audacity. Which
That's
is
true.
It's just for that encounter. So, but again, it's still a lot of work. You know.
Yeah.
But I've
Sorry,
recorded.
guys.
I'm a lot of
shoot
work.
off. I just want to say bye.
Take care, mate.
Because you know you guys
Take
are going
care,
on, and
man.
I was listening to you guys for ages otherwise. And
You can watch it
I'll
back.
see you
Plan,
guys-
we're a trap.
Exactly. I'll see you guys in the descent, and I'm playing Animal, so get in for that. I'm going to go face
yeah,
paint. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. Okay,
Yes.
cheers, everyone.
Take care, mate. Thank you, dude.
Cheers.
Do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wayne, I think that's an important tool to have, especially with everybody playing like in digital like we are right now. And even if you like overlay the music and the sound effects with what you're reading for the flavor text, like that could be just a set piece in
And
itself.
that's what I do.
Yeah, I think
Because I've
that's
tried to
great.
use
I've thought about doing it
I've used
myself.
Simonscape, and people just think it's fun. I'll use that in my groups, and I'll have Sirenscape up, and I'll play the stuff, and I have to really adjust the music then for the entire thing, and my DM's going along. Oh, and then somebody makes a roll, and they hit. Oh, boom! I'll push this button and this button, and it works. And they're like, "Hey, yeah, that's fun, yay!" And that's great. But for me, I am looking more like people that are getting into it. I want everybody that gets into D&D, especially kids or whatever, to kind of.
You're trying to keep them. You're giving them more drugs. You're trying to keep them. Okay, here's the opium den, kids. Let's go.
The first one's free.
Remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Just a taste, man.
I mean,
Dungeon Crate. That's all you need.
When you guys are DMing,
that's-
what do you prefer more? Do you guys prefer like music, or do you prefer ambient sounds?
I prefer ambience. So if you're in the you couldn't hear it, but the audience in yesterday's Runelords game, there's noises of the tunnels and the echoes down the tunnels, and I had roar of the dragon whenever it just plays in the background. That's Sirenscape, but I use a mixture of Sirenscape and tabletop audio, because if you want like when I first started introducing sound, it was your party is standing on the wet grass. It's twilight time. There's the big dark forest is on your left. The small town is on the right side. You start to see the fires being lit around like the town guard. And in the distance, off in the valley, you can see there's the dark clouds and the storm is on its way. You already get the slight pitter patter of rain on your skin, the cold drizzle as the cold air comes in. And you can smell it across the grass, and you can see the wind coming in. And while the players are talking about, should we go in the forest, should we go over to town, what should we do? The storm gets closer, and you hear the rumble in the distance. Boom, boom, boom. And by the time that rain comes down, it's a downpour of rain, and you've got Sirenscape kicking that out. The distant thunder becomes lightning, like crack a boom. And then you go boom. And that is amazing, because it keeps, goosebumps now, but you get the players go, I'm there. And just but rather than having combat music, or rather than having goblins talking, I agree with Chris. You can be that voice, and what Wayne is saying, you can do those things. I don't worry about the clink clank, because when you play that on Sirenscape, it's not quite right. Everyone's like, what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do this?
Exactly what Dave. What Dave just said to us. Dave, is a DM. He was able to just describe that to us right here, and everybody listening in a way that we're going to remember what he just said. Because
everybody's faces was like,
right. So what if somebody
you beat
can't
me
do
too?
That, though? What if they're new and they can't do that? And so what I do is I record what Dave said. I add in the sound effects just for that flavor text only. And then when that flavor text and when they play that audio, and it's maybe a minute, maybe 30 seconds of that flavor text and the sound effects, and you turn it off, and even if you don't have any sound effects or music or anything going in the background at your normal game, that still rings in your head. So that DM now has an edge. He's already played that thing. It's built that picture in those players' heads, just like Dave did. And then they're going to think about that later. And the more they do it, the more they might just not use that. And my goal is for them not to have to use it, but to be able to
use it.
It's a secret training tool.
You're trying to wean them off drugs,
right?
Yeah.
Right. And maybe just go.
Wait,
how it's supposed to be.
I was actually gonna say that. Like, it's what Dave was just doing. Like, coming from, like, I'm trained as a stage actor, so like, if I have an audience, like, that's kind of where I thrive around the table, because I can describe something, I can get them in the moment. My favorite thing to do when I have everybody's attention is to just drop one hint that has to do with one particular player, and then someone goes, "Oh fuck," and it draws it draws
we
focus
do this
to them
all the time.
Yeah, because their face is like, "Oh fuck me," and they're like, "What's happening?" And then I let them, like, it's a way to kind of shift the focus of what's happening in the story.
It's improv advanced.
Yeah, exactly. It's improv, but what you're doing exactly right. Like, eventually they might figure out they can do that themselves. Eric and I talk about this a lot. specifically like when we're done with Iron GM or something, like the caliber of DM has only been going up since
the bar
games
is
have been-
constantly higher.
Yeah, because like games are becoming more accessible.
The starting
and
bar,
it's-
I should say, the starting point is constantly higher because
Starting bar
GMs
is
have
constantly
better
going higher, yeah.
things to pull from to learn how to.
What happens
GM.
when you're 15 years old and you're just getting into D&D?
You have YouTube now,
Edition is
motherfucker.
it?
I didn't have it.
Yeah, right. But you're 15. You want to run it for your friends, but you're
Yeah.
not very confident in your delivery or your acting ability or whatever. I try and write things, even in the encounter if they read it. What I used to do when I was a kid, I just hoped that they had good text. I was a copywriter for 15 years. Like, just have good copy. So when I read it, I sound smart. I smell, and it describes that for the players, even if I can't do it myself off the cuff. I want to help those 15-year-olds. I want to help those people that are really getting into trying to DM and not make it like a video game, make it like a role-playing game, like to where when they go home, they remember
problem.
They remember it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, and
that's
that's the other part of it. Like the things that we had as kids, because we didn't have all this other stuff. Like,
minis.
The tactile.
Mine was pipe cleaners in a ball.
Memory
A foam ball.
that I have, for the fucking beholder. Like the tactile memory you get from minis, or just the process of like when you have a character that you really like and you finally buy a mini and you paint it. Like there's heart and soul that goes into that, but that is part of the experience. Or like the smell of the basement that you're in when you're playing it. Like sense is everybody says it, sense is the biggest. It's the top sense tied to memory. Like when you walk into that basement again, it's like, oh man, I want to roll some dice. Like that's something that you don't get over this medium. Like having to actually be around a table gives you that.
There you go, Wayne. You need to
That's the
package
reason I love
smells
Hero
like oils that people rub under their nose to play the game.
I don't want to gamer smells under my nose.
Oils and
gamer smell.
Oils and waxes.
Well,
just
actually,
sweat.
there's a company that sells
Wayne's armpits.
They smell like votives, and they make candles that you can burn at the table just to have that. But like,
So my follow-up though,
oil.
I had a follow-up, but I saw Joe say
we're all concerned with if you're not putting out a product or whatever. And whenever I put out a project, I'm really concerned with like how usable is it? How does it make the game better?
Yeah, what sulfur candles?
And how does it help people that are just now getting into it? And how do I make role players that won't annoy me? When I go play with him, I've gone to games. I'm like,
yes.
Doing 20-something conventions a year. Let me tell you what.
I'm gonna roll my dice on roll.
Gamers, learn some fucking etiquette. I love you all. You're all my friends, but get some etiquette.
Yeah, I mean that's why I've picked for Avernus. I sort of picked the people that were in my party, and it's because they're all, I think, gonna work really well against each other, and also give each other give each other the light as well. Do you know what I mean? Rather than
share the limelight.
It's a skill to push someone else into the limelight. Do you know what I mean? When you're role playing.
Josh is awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to ask as a follow-up. So, like I said, I don't like pre-published adventures, but I know a lot of people here are big into running pre-published adventures and like them. And to me, it feels like homework. Like I know I am the odd man out on this conversation. I like gleaning pieces of information from them and looking at stuff. For all the people who run it, like Order of the Amber Die, I love those guys. They are fantastic. They will play an entire AP book in a weekend together in person, 12 to 16-hour days. They've played, I think they're in the Guinness or getting ready to be in the Guinness for playing the most amount of modules currently as a group. It's pretty
they
fucking
got
cool.
No kids. Man.
No, well, one's a teacher. A bunch of them do have kids, but what they do is they don't go to conventions. They don't go to conventions. They do a weekend gaming extravaganza to get away from the family, and that's what they do. And they do it like 2 times a year, roughly, but they have rotations that come in. So Band of Badgers is similar. You guys have a bunch of people in your group. Why do you all like pre-published adventures? I like the art. I like pulling the art in mass, but other than that, I kind of don't use them.
So what?
I don't. That's why we write all of our own.
Yeah.
I write half of the.
Shut up, Wayne. I want people who do.
So what I'm doing is
I don't buy those big books anymore. I don't buy any new ones.
I'm always using it as like a framework, and it's like the framework's been written for you, and then you like for the first part, I'm not even using the intro or anything like that. I've written my own intro, and I've kind of just pulled bits and pieces from theirs and put it in. Even like NPCs, I've totally changed NPCs and gone, I like that NPC, but they'll be
personalize them. You mean? For, like, the game you're running. So you file the serial numbers off.
Yeah. Along those.
I agree with that a lot. I do like that.
Yeah.
But so, Dave, you're running live streams. Do you do the same thing, or do you run it exactly from the book?
No, the only reason I get the books, I do a lot of reading anyway, and I love stories. I love reading it for me.
That's a different reason. But
yeah,
yes.
In my head, I've got a party in my head. That entire party is on that adventure, so I'll read it back to front. But if it's a table game, we have more time, so we can relax. You can go shopping. You can do all that. Get involved in politics, whatever. On the live stream, a live stream is okay. I need to get you from A to B to C with a cliffhanger. So that's either half an episode of role playing, and then the next episode you got one encounter and then a cliffhanger, and I need to push you to get there. Now you can't do that on your own. So the easiest way to do it is to share that load with someone. One of the players is on sort of the inside. Someone knows that by 10:30 break, we need to be in that next room. They don't need to know what the answers to the puzzles are. They don't know what they need to fight, because they still want to enjoy the story and the adventure. But they're there to say, look, guys, we've been trying to figure out this problem. We can't get through the door. Let's just use the key, yeah? Open.
So you're sending out cues basically to move the adventure along.
Yeah, they have to move. It's like, so you'll get a player who goes, look, let's just open the door. They won't check the traps. They'll go through.
At home, though, is different. So we're talking about streaming because a lot of us here are streaming or stream our podcasts. But at home play, do you run it through the whole book? Like if you ran any of these, like the Beetle and Grimm or the Rising of the Runelords in completion?
So for myself, for Avernus, I'm currently playtesting it with my mates, and I'm going to run it as if I was running it on the stream. And then what I've said to them is, when we get to the end, I'm going to then go back and do all the bits that I've not done because we've had to do it. Because we're doing 12 episodes, we're going to obviously skip over a lot of the other bits and pieces that are, I don't want to say fluff, but do you know what I mean? Like other bits that you've sort of cut out. And so, filler or what have you. So, we are going to go back and do those other bits afterwards as well. So.
Well, for me, I might be the least experienced DM here. I started DMing about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago. And I've been a player like a 3.5 many years prior, but I jumped back into it. And the first thing I did was I did Adventurers League one-shots. I was at a local gaming store, and they said, hey, you want to DM? Sure. Here's a thing. Go run it. And so I got to learn that way. And for me, it's been for running those, it gives me, for somebody who's not really done it before, a way to learn how to do it. It gives me a framework it gives me creative ideas, things like in general, when we do homebrew, we're pulling from different things that we've read, different source materials, whether it's a novel, a movie, or whatever. This is a source for me. It lets me look at it and teaches me how a story progresses, how it can move and whatnot. Now, as of now, I've run officially the Avernus adventure 4 times all the way through. And having done it 4 times, every time it's always a little different. I don't think it'll be, I can't say this outright, but I think no table runs that same adventure vanilla, or any adventure vanilla. You're going to cater it to how the party's choices are being done. And I've run it locally. I've run it through digital medium.
That's the, I mean, that's the point of adventure. It's pre-written, as everyone runs it different. I should rephrase then. I read the cover of the book. I look through the art that's inside in the maps. I look at maybe the headings and go, oh, that's a good idea. I may even pull a stat block. Other than that, I want nothing to do with it, because to me, the amount of time it takes me to read a book for a pre-published adventure, especially like an AP from any company, and then to sit down and then make my notes for it, is triple the amount of time that it would take me just to write my own notes and run my own game.
Yes, that is very true, and I am totally with you on that. I am terrible at doing homework.
I have a good follow-up though. I do
Yes, go for
think adventures have a great place in this environment, but I feel like the layout that we have been using since the dawn of D&D is inadequate, and somebody needs to update it to make it easier to peruse and for new GMs to moderate to even advance to run. And the thing, and I point this out every time, for those who played in the Pathfinder 2e playtest, I know, we all know it was an atrocity. We all know no one made it through. It was really hard for PF2, but that adventure had little icons that marked if thing was a combat, an encounter, a treasure area, so you could quickly flip through the book and find it. It wasn't just a call-out box. They actually put an icon there that was like, hey, idiot, this is a treasure for this encounter. That kind of stuff is just like the baseline. And then how PDFs, they have been coming out now for, how long have PDFs been around for? 2011 for adventures tabletop.
How are they not all hyperlinked?
How are they not all hyperlinked in a way that makes running the adventure?
Christ.
That is a
smart?
benefit of
So-
Roll20 is that all the
Exactly.
hyperlinks for DMs and stuff is really.
Have you tried running anything on D&D Beyond at all?
No, I listen, man. I own all the books. I'm not paying for that again.
I have. I did. For our work group, I did Ghost of Saltmarsh, and I had a mixture. I had the
Someone
books.
gifts it to me.
I printed out chapters from the PDF. I had it on D&D Beyond. So anything I didn't know, it was at my fingertips. Because I
heard you paid twice.
Yeah.
Yes, I paid twice.
The other thing I'd say is I was lucky enough to win the Beelan Grimm's Silver Edition.
That's
I won it for Matt's birthday on his on their stream.
I have
and-
frequent fryer miles, so you better hide that shit.
Yeah. The way that they've taken the chapters and they've made each chapter its own individual book. So it makes
I missed that from that's old school design actually.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. Like I was going to my mum's for the day and I took one of the chapters and just gave the kids to my mum and just sat there reading the chapter whilst she did that. It's so much easier than having to carry this fucking tome.
Yeah.
So the follow-up question is, what would make
adventures was to make it like the old school modules that we used to go to the comic book store and buy. They were this big. They were $8 or $5. But what I was experiencing when I was reading a lot of other people's homebrew stuff or other sub boxes and their things is that there was so much information for the DM but not enough, and then you would run into it and you didn't know what to tell the players. So I wanted to I was like, I don't want to do full big giant adventures. I'm going to do an encounter. You can pull this.
Shadow of the Demon Lord. Rob Schwab
Entertainment does that. Studying it.
Yeah,
There we go. I can read it right there and play it. You put it into any adventure.
The epic books. These are actually really, really good. I got these were bought for me for my birthday, and they are fantastic. This is an encounter, a one shot in a box. You get all the minis, you get the map, you get the outline of the story, and it's just brief. It's like, this is where you are, go.
Yeah.
And you make your characters on D&D Beyond, or you
They're
come
a
with them,
sponsor for
and you go on.
GaryCon. It's like you're
Yeah.
on GaryCon right now.
If only I was. And here's the thing we talked about earlier. So we're going to rewind again. The thing I had an idea of, this is my epiphany, maybe Eric, you might be able to help with this, is what if this is the green room before and after you go on stage? So you go on, you do your stuff live, you're playing with Luke and everyone else. Yeah, you've had a great time, that's 3 hours live streaming. Then you come back here and just chat with everyone else. You know, here's Charles Miller, here's Neurological. Let's just have a chat with everyone here.
Pitch it to them.
Well, yeah, that is... You could have a Green Room Gary Con channel where everyone else is just hanging out, talking about D&D and role-playing. Doing exactly this. So, you know, if you're able to, don't steal the idea. Let me have something. Let me have something.
Really
It's out there now, mate. You need to talk about that shit.
But this is great. If you haven't already seen these, it's a one shot in a box. You might be able to do it over 2 sessions. All the minis are there. This is the Orc King. You just kill a load of orcs. You get to the king. You kill him. Job done. The map you get
pitch
is...
you just gave me, all I heard was, I get orc minis, I'm never running the adventures. Like, as my style of GMing, that's what I just heard.
Yeah. The flip map, you get a flip map, it's paper, but it's good. It's good.
No, I think for beginning GMs or people stepping into a hobby, first off, is that systemless or is that 5e?
That's 5e.
It's 5e.
So I love systemless stuff. That is actually one caveat. And I know I'm probably a rarity. I love systemless things where I can take it and make it for whatever I'm doing. And there's a level of work that people think they can't do taking a systemless game and making a system. I'm here to tell you it's easier than reading a pre-published adventure. Because if you already know the system and that's the system you love, you making it into that adventure is hella easier than learning a new game.
I did. So here's another one. This is the Pathfinder 2nd Edition beginner box.
That's actually an amazing beginner box, by the way.
It's really, really good. My boy is 6. So all we did, we used the map, we used the story, we used Sirenscape as well. But forget the dice. We had some numbers, strength, dexterity, everything else. We just used D6s. 1 to 3, he fails. And then 4, 5, 6, he passes. Whether it was damage, whether it was a skill check, whatever. It was something he could do. And if you wanted to be extra, you could roll 2d6s, 3d6s. Mm-hmm. So there's no need about the rules. We just literally unpack it. He's looking at the mini, looking at the map, going, oh yeah, where can we go? So, well, you start here. Your objective is to get to the end of the maze there. But every room, there's an obstacle or a monster or an encounter. And I'll read what it is, the description, and then add something else to it, because he's not going to pick up all the big words. He's 6. He absolutely fell in love with it. He's been drawing dungeons ever since. He's been doing all kinds of maps and mazes.
Good man.
I tried to play D&D with my kids, and my son loved it, and my daughter just said it was maths with extra steps.
I mean, I can see both sides, Josh.
Small cookie.
Yeah, I was going to invent the new role-playing game system.
Two things really quick. The first thing is I just sent you guys all something in the chat. It was a system that I created back in October.
Yeah,
I haven't play tested it at all. Haven't done anything with it, but I figured it's extremely simple. You only use 1d6, and there's little to no rules at all.
Yeah,
nice.
It's the perfect thing to introduce people to role-playing games, I think, because there's not a lot of you have 35 classes and also subclasses and also different archetypes you can take, and it's just play, dude. Just role play, just improv, just get into it, and you set the scene, you set the tone. There, I wrote 3 different modules for it. One's inspired by Silent Hill, one was Hocus Pocus, and the third one was The Walking Dead. So that way you can do a family adventure or something more intense for your friends if you want to do something scary. So I sent you guys the link if you guys want to check it out. It's a 1-page RPG. There's not a lot of reading. There's not a lot of anything for it.
Nice.
The second thing I wanted to comment on was when you were just talking about the modules. I've been playing D&D for 4 years and DMing for 3. Only homebrew stuff, entirely homebrew, because I always loved the idea of world building and creating and pulling things. But when quarantine started, I did run Tomb of Horrors, and I hated it. And I only hated it because of the layout. And I did it from D&D Beyond, but I had to go and I went through every single thing, and I straight up went to my OneNote and I copy and pasted everything, and then made different links so I can be like, okay, I'm just clicking here. So now I don't have to scroll through this whole thing or go and find this thing. It's just everything is right there for me, and I could run this module like that for anybody right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
If I could teach GMs anything, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, is I believe in building encounters and filling the space between based on your time. Pacing is everything in tabletop gaming, and unfortunately adventures do not teach you pacing. So if you all sit down, you have 5 hours for your game, or maybe you're lucky and you got the 8-hour sessions you do every weekend. Pacing out that thing is not something that is within the guidelines of how to run an adventure. And the biggest problem in the layout, as you were saying, is everyone learns differently. We all know that. We've all had some schooling from one degree to another. Or if you didn't and you're here, then fucking you're the best ever. I feel that the layouts for them are antiquated because they're just in the thought process of 1 to 2 people. The layout is made for that. A PDF, and it's not that hard. If you had 3 or 4 templates pre-set up for different styles of how you consume information, and you click the top and it just relay out the PDF for you, So maybe one's a visual way of teaching you that game. Another way is a written one, like a novel format. Another one is a plot web, which is my personal favorite, is a plot web for running it. And then you click those into highlights for what's going on. And then the next one maybe is a more expensive version that's like a video series that teaches you each one of the sections, because everyone learns differently, especially as we age. Like, we got to think our industry that we're all a part of right now is huge. It is the largest age bracket you could possibly get. You got 10-year-olds and 80-year-olds playing plus. Like, it's a big gambit, and they play together, which is also very rare. You know, short of like people flying model airplanes, like, you know, there isn't that gambit where it's like 10-year-olds and 80-year-olds playing together. And I think that the problem is all of the way that we are taught adventures is one way. And as an art student, they don't work for me, because I love to read, but I don't want to read that. I think that there needs to be some other ways, and no one's nailed it yet. And I'm not saying there's a perfect way. I don't have a solution. But I do understand what you're saying by taking Evernote and redoing it, because I'm getting ready to run something for TPK Games, and they're like, hey, can you play test this with a group of people? I was like, I'm in the Word doc format. This isn't even a PDF yet. I was like, dude, this is so boring, bro. Like, I don't want to read this. Can you just give me the fucking Cliff Notes and I will make it my own? No. We want you to run it like it is to see if it works. It doesn't. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to read it. It doesn't work. So I agree there should be some different formats. And I'm not a person who believes in appeasing everybody. I am not that person. Listen to me talk. I'm definitely not that person. Abrasive is
here
like
to
a
verify
tag
that.
just sits above my head. But I do think that I do love learning, and I know that I learn differently than others, and I think everyone does. And this, what we do, is scary for new people to come in and play, as Wayne has been talking about a lot today. It doesn't have to be. And I think as a GM, the number one thing you can do, and Drew, I did this with him for years, teaching someone else to GM in your style or in their style, let them find their voice, is the best thing you can do. If every GM does that and helps make another GM, that's one more person doing what we do, so that we can fucking play the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've recently, like, in my
That's what I did with Joe. My Padawan has grown up.
This is actually, Tomb of Annihilation is the first campaign that I've ever actually finished.
Yes.
Wow, you took on the beast. What is wrong with you?
I know,
you realize you're like beginner boxes, right?
I got to throw him in a deep end.
We've recently, like, in our friend group, one of our friends, Dave, he's just stepped up and finished his the beginner campaign box set. And I was regularly having sort of catch-ups with him afterwards and going through, like, the session that we just had, giving him sort of tips and sort of saying, you know, what things he'd done great and what things that he could have improved on or embellished on and whatnot. So yeah, it's really good to sort of share that knowledge. For anyone that wants to step up and DM, I think should just be commemorated in tackling the feat of doing so.
Yes.
But at the same time, literally as soon as they start, after their second or third session, you're like, you see now, don't you? You see what you have to deal with.
And that's funny hearing that come from him, because I told him exactly the same thing. Once you open that door.
It's like,
you're gonna be stuck there forever.
You see that pool you're standing next to?
Main reasons. Yeah. One of the main reasons I started playing was because, like, I was taking acting classes as a kid. I didn't actually play D&D until I got into high school.
Oh, really? I thought it was earlier than that.
No, well, I mean, I was playing Hero Quest and we got through everything, so I was like, I was just running Hero Quest and like making shit up on the fly. So I guess I was kind of playing D&D. But the thing that
D&D,
when people ask me to explain what role-playing games are like, I say I use the words tabletop theater, because it gets them in the mindset of it's about a story and not about a game, because the rules are there just as a base, but like telling the story. And I mean, it says this in the newest books that are coming out now, like, if the rule doesn't work, don't use it. Like, make it about the story. I feel like there has been okay, so as an actor, this is how I will say it. I have worked with directors that say, I want you to cross stage left, say this line, and then move down center. And I've worked with other directors that say, land center, I don't care how you get there. have fun with it. Like,
we'll figure it out.
Those are two exactly. Those are two completely different things, and they both work. But I think, like Eric said, yeah, I'm the second one too. It's like, I don't care how you get there. Give me plot points. Like, go. I need you to get from A to F. Hit all the letters. I don't care how you get there, but like these things need to happen in order for the next part of the story to make sense. Exactly. I personally like that a lot because I hate when DMs try and railroad me because it's like, I don't want to. Yeah, but he wouldn't do that. My character wouldn't do that. Yeah, but that's the only option. Well, I don't want to play this game. Then that sucks. Like, to the point where I have laid out. This is why I don't actually write anything down anymore, because as soon as I do that, my players are like, "Oh, yeah, no, that's the main plot line. What was that little flavor text you gave about this thing over here about a fountain?"
I see there's that clip for
I'm gonna go check that out. And then for fucking 2 years, they go off and deal with the fountain thing, and they may or may not come back to the main storyline where the big bad is just sitting in a castle for 5 years going, "I've been waiting. I'm bored. I figured something would happen by now." Like. So then I have to like build on what have they been doing for the 5 years, and then it's like, well, shit. Like the juxtaposition of both those types of storytelling. Like, again, they both work. But
so for a live stream, we, like Dave said before, we've got like inside men where they'll be don't go chase that chicken, like come back over here and deal with the actual thing you meant. Do you guys do that as well, or how do you deal with that sort of stuff if people want to go off and deviate from?
It depends. Is this a home game or a stream game?
A stream game.
Shut the fuck up. It's a stream.
I do think
Bring it back on track.
Like, don't give the characters that option. Like, that's the thing. If you don't offer it as an option, they won't go there.
That is
like,
true.
Offer more options that are in line with what you're trying to do.
So players will latch on to like
red herrings cause problems.
Yeah, but they'll latch on to the most ridiculous things. Like,
yes, they will. Yes, they will.
We had that yesterday.
If I'm around a table,
circle it back.
If I'm around a table and I'm playing a game, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going off on tangents because it doesn't matter. But if you're doing a stream game, you have to kind of herd the cats.
Yeah. We had that yesterday. So in our Runelords show, we, rather than the previous episode, we would normally leave a room, but we didn't. We were behind the time. We wrapped it up. So they were in this room in a crypt, covered in ice and snow. And everyone was determined, and Ryan does as well, everyone was determined there's something in the snow. And I'm like, there's not. But I don't want to tell them that, but there's not. And it was like, should we dig with shovels? Should we have a poke around? To the point where they've got oil, spread the oil all around the room, lit it, burnt the place down, blew up an entire building, and they still go in there and go, is there something in the snow? No.
Your first problem was inviting on a guest, Dave.
So there's so GM wise, there's a few ways to handle this kind of stuff. And I see in chat, Var is saying you don't know our friends. You're right, I don't, but you do.
That's us. That's our group.
oh, I see. So here's the deal.
Put the chicken. So fireball the chicken.
So here's the deal, though. Like yesterday, I ran the Beetle and Grimm game. It's a soul punk Victorian horror setting, and Justice decided he was a Sailor Moon druid with an Elmo-like familiar.
Nice.
I was like, bro, did you not read the show notes?
Elmo, right?
He just read PG-13.
And I was like, fine, I'll run with it, but I'm going to turn this into the saddest fucking moment of all time. I'm murdering that little shit. Because you were trying to do something against the grain, and don't get me wrong, there are people, that is their style of role-playing.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So one, if you're streaming, know your cast your cast right. If you cast and you get that, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Remember that forever. And then when you do your next stream, put them in a group that makes sense. Because
if you cast a Liverpudlian tour,
well, there's nothing wrong with the style of play. It just may not be fit for what you're doing. Two, if it's a home game, transparency is everything. I 100% believe. I ran home games most of my career, has been doing that. And having that session 0, everyone's like, oh, you do it at the beginning. No, asshole. You do it at the beginning. You do it at the next story arc. You do it at the story arc after that. You have to be transparent with your players and say things like, so the goal for this is this. Are you guys in? They're like, well, we really want to investigate that. As a GM, you just say yes or no. You can say there's nothing wrong. No is the best word in the English language.
Yeah.
And if your players go, we want to investigate the snow, and you tell them there's nothing there, and they melt it down, and there's still nothing there, and then you go, remember when I said there's nothing there at the beginning of this conversation?
Yeah.
Why? I'm not lying to you, but GMs lie. No, I literally said no to you.
I remember once in our home game, we spent ages trying to figure out how to get across this like ravine because there was a bridge. There was a bridge, a perfectly fine bridge, and we're like, "It's a trap. It's got to be a trap." And we threw someone over with a rope attached to them, and they fell into the river. And we had to get them out, and afterwards he was like, "You could have just walked across the bridge."
Over the bridge.
Every GM has done this.
I
Describe
do
it
not
if you
understand
don't
where
want
this
to
attitude
interact
comes
with
from.
GM and you go back to playing that.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, I've GM'd all this, and now when I play, I'm just like, no, I'm going. Boom,
Yeah.
I'm across the bridge. I'm doing
So
that.
I always, I always
I'm
start.
not even gonna fall into that. Nope. I'm going straight.
But don't
for the main
describe it.
That's
Sorry, Jamie.
I want to hear what Jamie has to say.
I was going to say, I always start a game or a campaign with the fact that we're telling a story together, guys. The trust barrier is bizarre to me. I don't understand where it comes from. Because, I'm providing narrative details about the world, but if you want to go chase that fountain or you want to melt that snow, cool, we're going to explore that together and see where that goes.
In a home group.
At no point am I going to say to you...
around a table? Absolutely.
Sure, if you've got a time limit, it's different. I agree. But just even given those conditions, why do people come to the table thinking you're going to lie to them?
Yeah.
I know GMs in the past. Bad GMs in the past.
Yes, Lee, what were you gonna say before, Lee?
What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just I don't have the inside player in the vampire game. It's just at 11:30 my time. My husband comes home. Or 11:36 my time. So if I need to take a break to go to the bathroom, I have to stop and have that break at 11:30. Otherwise, he clogs up the bathroom. I can't use it. So, So, and then I'm
got a hill giant. So
he's huge. It's crazy. So what I do is I make sure that there is a twist moment that's going to happen at exactly 11:30. So. Prior at the last session, 11 o'clock, they're all trying to get into this security room and they can't figure it out. And they're passing the key around from player to player. And it's this whole Benny Hill theme going on in the background. And then 11:30, knock on the door. It's the vampire police. And then, there's a whole new problem to solve. We got to go figure out what to do about the vampire police, and that just gives a change of direction there with them.
It is important to introduce new elements when they get hooked onto something. Yeah.
And they never got into the security room. They ended up blowing up the house.
Talking of getting hooked on something, like from the first game that I played with Dave, will you tell me what happened with that bridge that made everyone feel, or certain people feel sick when they walk over it? Was there actually anything with that bridge? Or was...
No, there actually was. It was written in the book that bridge in that particular town, it was cursed. And if you had a certain amount of fae in your blood, it would make you nauseous.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that?
Exactly what the point is to something.
All of us. Yeah, everybody was like, there's something fucked up about that bridge. What's going on with that bridge?
But, okay, did it have something to do with the main story, Dave? Does it have a tie-in?
No.
I don't... You made a city, I get it. Everyone wants like a living, breathing Tollus when they write something for an adventure. And I understand the concept.
This was Ghost of Saltmarsh.
When you're running a story, you're putting red herrings in for no goddamn reason other than your own self-enjoyment as the writer.
Yeah, this is not a stream game. This is basically around a table, after work, bunch of guys, and we're playing a game, and it was like, oh, I read that bit. Okay, who would that affect? I know exactly who it's going to affect because I know the person. And then it's like, yeah, and they just walk across the bridge. It's like, oh, you feel a bit funny.
It makes it fun. It's fun.
Yeah, you feel sick.
Even if there's no destination, and when we play these games, so we not necessarily need a destination at the end. If you're all just having fun at the table, it would depend on where you go. If you're shopping and role playing, and everybody's having a grand time and laughing and giggling, then success. You had a good time. You did well. It was a great session, even if the story went nowhere. You know.
So you want to play Skyrim, the tabletop game?
I want to play a game that the players want to play because we're all in it for together, and I cater it based on the players. If the players are into the role play and they like silly characters at the marketplace, then boom, I give it to them. I give them to because so for me, I'm a professional DM and I get paid to run certain games. So some games I do stream, and that's a little bit different, but I cater to the table. So
because you're paid to cater to them. That's
right.
Different.
I'm paid to cater to them. So I just develop the story and give them what they want, even if it's within the same module and whatnot. But I like one of the ideas that you had before, Eric. You talked about. Well, I liked a lot of your ideas. One of them was the way you format the way you visualize it going down, kind of like a Visio diagram or something. That would be fantastic. And then
you should go download my audio guided plot adventure. There's literally a map with plot web and audios.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out. But there is
Shadow of the Demon Lord.
You brought up a good point with structuring of the story and some of the published adventures. I wanted to at least throw out the name, and some of them already do this, but I do know that Strahd in 5e is set up in a way to where they are just separate encounters to happen.
Yep.
You don't necessarily go
string
down
together.
You string them together, and it's not a railroaded type thing, even though there is a endpoint. You kind of go at different points, you know, they wander around Barovia until they run into stuff and they encounter stuff on the map. And there's two ways of doing it that I found interesting. Another GM buddy of mine, the way he told me, he said, I'm just not going to describe it unless I want them to run into it. Essentially is what it is. Kind of like the flavor hook thing. You don't describe it to give them a red herring. It's the same thing. If they're level 6 or they're level 3 and they're about to go into the windmill and fight the hags and stuff, I'm not going to describe it. I'll throw that somewhere else. I'll put that somewhere else on the map until they're a higher level.
Correct.
That's one way of doing it. So you could do a couple different methods with it, but
And I do agree. There's tons of different methods for it. Like when we designed Razor Coast, the Frog God games, the area of the map is based on encounter levels. And, and you can go to areas that are really dangerous and try to do it. There are warnings through knowledge checks and things like that. But what we had to do, we realized, is as a GM, when you're running this, you got to have a way to track it. So we gave you 2 sheets to track where they've been and key items that they've found. And for me, that comes from developing RPGs in the video game industry. And the one thing I do love out of it is that key items are mechanically, key items unlock other nodes and things within a game so the dialogue trees open up. But on the tabletop version, what it's actually really good for is you know that key is the only way through that door, which we discussed earlier. If that's a key part, you look at your sheet and go, holy fuck, they have that. I can now use the rumor that's about that key because someone sees that they have it or someone's fidgeting with it. There are always ways to circle back.
Yeah.
Unless people want to melt snow because they think there's something in it. I can't help it.
Well, there's a thought that another thought process is kind of in the same line there, Eric. It's kind of like the illusion of choice. That's the mentality where
smoke and mirrors is the GM's best friend.
Yeah. Essentially, you built in an encounter, and it's probably so far away, but they're focused on the snow. Well, suddenly the encounter, boom, is in the snow. What about
We're illusionists. 100% illusionist. Specialized. 2nd edition, full class. Let's go.
So being able to diffuse those sort of situations is a really important skill, though. You're right. It's yes, you bring the encounter to where they are, or if they're worried about the bridge, then a merchant with a heavily laden wagon starts coming across from the other side.
Agreed.
Or if they're worried about the fountain, well then a vagrant walks up and starts peeing in it. It's,
There's things you can do to dissuade.
It's very easy to remove interest in those things if you want to cut it short.
So Eric, if let's just we'll use like the traveling and then the bridge example. Eric, if your players are going from point A to point B and it takes 5 hours to get there, would you just like speed up to point B, or would you describe them traveling?
There's 2
and
points.
Then they go over a bridge and then they go over a waterfall.
Do you Raiders of the Lost Ark it, draw the red arrow?
Yeah.
Or do you actually have them travel it? So I think it depends on your campaign. So, for example, if you're playing something like Forbidden Lands, the game is about travel. If you're playing a West Marches, it's about exploration discovery. Numenera, same thing. I think when you're playing something like Eberron, the travel is less important. I think if I remember correctly in 3.5, they even talk about it being a travel sequence. And it depends if it's your home game or a stream or a paid game, because those are all different. If your group loves travel, then fucking give it to them. If you as the GM likes it, because if you're not enjoying yourself, it's gonna come out in the game as well. For example, I don't like random encounters. I think random encounters are the dumbest XP giving thing ever invented. But I do like random tables. I just don't like random encounters. Why is there a boar here? That doesn't make sense. Why does it have treasure?
I like the random encounters table for picking out stuff and going, that would be really good. That would be really good. And you almost
hooks.
Yeah. So you use the random encounters as an idea board rather than as an actual.
But that's not how it's taught, though, Joe.
No.
Yeah.
But,
so,
well, it depends on the
bridge.
module. They do say.
If that bridge was part of the story, that's why I asked. If it was part of the story, like if it's foreshadowing for something else, 100% I would make sure that set piece is there. And I think if that set piece is just a piece of history for the area, cool. Give it away as a piece of history and a knowledge check. And that's on the writers for not explaining that to the GM, in my personal opinion. Or if it's foreshadowing, there should just be a foreshadowing box above it, or a color that means foreshadowing. Maybe that header is purple. But so you know that this is foreshadowing for something in book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5, whatever it is, or later in that adventure.
Yeah.
I would have that if I think it's going to be a good scene for at home. If I have a Fae and they've been too powerful the entire game and I need a way to curse them, great. I have a tool piece now. But if that's not the case, I probably would skip over it, because to me, it doesn't fit what I'm currently doing. But like Dave said, you had a Fae in there and you were ready to screw with them. Yeah, I might do that to be able to screw with
it was me. He just wanted to dick on me. That's
when you cross that bridge, I might say, do we want a travel sequence? And everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, well, here, it's 14 days. What I would like to do is one survival check for the travel. One thing with PF2 that's great is the exploration mode. It's something GMs have been doing for ages, but has never been put in context. I'd have a role for it. And then I think I would have everyone do a camping scene or a travel scene or a moment within that travel that brings meaning to their character, not meaning to the story.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
all
if you
about
can fit the
character
story in,
development.
great.
Yeah.
Exactly, because the stronger the character development is, the better your story is going to be overall. Period. Like that's just
I
the
think when you're
nature
starting
of the
new,
business.
though, having those random encounters can be fun for both the DM,
It can spawn
especially,
stuff.
and like first level when they're starting out. You know, who's going to take watch, and they got to realize what that is. So you do that for a bit, and then you kind of discard that.
Well,
as
well,
you go
Wayne,
through it.
wouldn't
You
you
don't need to do that after a while. Yeah,
What if
it's
that?
like-
What if that cursed elven bridge was in the back of the book, and it says, if you have Fey people or Fey characters in your campaign, use this cursed elven bridge somewhere within the adventure to help push a Fey storyline? Wouldn't that make
So
more
it's
sense
random,
than
but
just
not
going?
random. Yeah.
By the way, this town has a cursed Fey bridge. No one gives a shit.
I
won't go there.
I will say, today's the first day that I've got the answer to it, and that was ages ago, and I still think about that fucking bridge.
I do get the home campaign that makes.
And there you go. The answer was
that meaning.
we were just fucking with you.
Yes.
As always, Dave. As always.
That was the writer screwing with you.
Well, I think there's caveats to it in general, because it depends on your demographic. I mean, kids are not going to really consider the rules or consistencies.
No.
And if you're describing the history of a city and whatnot, they don't care. They just want to kill, loot, and do a bunch of goofiness.
Goblins in the balls.
Adults in that demographic, they might be more inclined to have something more rules based that makes sense. A world that can seem to exist outside of their own real world, so they want rules and thrown in little history snippets. They might like that stuff, and then there's nuances to that as well. There's variance between adults and how they actually react.
Do you know what I want? I want a fucking checklist that I can hand out at the beginning of any game that I'm playing. The one cool thing that Cyberpunk put out is they put 4 categories in for your style of play, and you literally circle boxes in it in Cyberpunk 20 or Cyberpunk Red. You circle boxes. The one that has the most circles in is your primary. The one that has the second most circles in is your secondary, and that's how you get experience.
Yep.
Can you show
Super
us that
genius.
list? Because we're about to start a Cyberpunk campaign amongst our friends group.
Well, one, you should come watch Fenrir Rising and don't do what I'm doing. Learn from my insanity. But it's in the handing out IP. in the book. It's literally a box that your players circle. It's like warrior, explorer, role player. I always forget what the last one is. And you circle, and I think every game needs something similar to that in the beginning. And then I also think the biggest thing left on the table for D&D 5e is your bonds, your flaws, and your ideals need to become more established mechanically to make players want to use them for roleplay.
So
It
here's
is something just left on the table. It's half of your character sheet. Why are we not doing more with it?
Here's the thought to add to that, because it sounds to me like a perfect idea. The only thought is, I know one person in particular who told me this. He said, I come from a Warhammer 40K background. And so when I come into it, I want to do tactical combat. I want to do all this, other, whatever. And so when he did his D&D, that's what he focused on. But the games that he played did not have it. And what
Thank you, Baron.
That he actually liked the role play more than the tactical combat. So there's a chance for evolution as you play, or just a change in what you actually like. So I'm curious, does the Cyberpunk Red offer that? So if you circle one, are you stuck with that?
So you lean into it, is the game plan for it. You get experience or IPs, advancement points. I'm going to pull it up because I actually have to design stuff for tomorrow's show still. So the thing that is awesome about it is they did it because Michael Pondsmith, from my understanding, said that when I've ran all these games at conventions, I realized that not everyone plays the same. And I can't pick my table at a convention. I can't pick it. They signed up to play, just like you can't pick who pays you to run a game. And joking aside, I think is also genius because it lets a player finally self-reflect without you putting your glasses on. Excuse me, player, you need to reflect on how you are. No, it just does it for them. And it makes them realize, I do actually really like role playing. I didn't realize that. That's where most of my circles are. I thought it was combat the whole time, when really they just like a cinematic combat where they're role playing their combat out, and they can kind of stack those two things together and they get something amazing out of it. But you get IP for it, and basically the way it works is you either get IP advancement points from finishing your story, or you get them from doing these things. Because if you don't finish a story during that session, you instead refer back to what does the player like to do. Did they do the things that they told you they like to do? And that also lets a GM have a checklist like, did I give combat this session for my solo?
Yeah.
Did I give exploration for the person who wants to learn about the Elven Bridge? So on and so forth.
Nice. I mean, we've like a lot of my friends. We all come from a 40K background as well. And
Eric, it's on page 410.
You have we did have a lot of, to begin with, a lot of people that were focused solely on the combat and the rules and whatnot, and we're starting to get more role play heavy as we sort of go on, and I think that's just a general. 40K is very rules heavy, and D&D is very role play heavy, and it's getting the people to move from
and obviously
one thing
there's
to another.
edge cases. I wish we had a warning.
Sure.
Warning. We all know there's edge cases. This is not what we're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
But Warren was like, well, exactly.
Thank you, Wayne.
Everybody, I want to bow out, but you guys, I love y'all.
Yeah, thank you for the advert. The advert was
Wayne.
awesome. So between you and Sean, and obviously a little bit myself, but like it was amazing.
Yeah,
Wayne, do you want to come play in Cyberpunk?
Great. And I'll talk to y'all soon, I'm sure. I hope.
Hey, man.
And,
Wayne, I'm still waiting for that.
Emails if you haven't got a box, but man,
I'm still waiting for that follow-up email, Wayne.
Well, I did. I know. Yeah, Lori's got it. The shady ladies getting on contact with Brian. But man,
Wayne, do you want to come play in Fenrir Rising? On our Cyberpunk game?
I can't play any more games. I'm not playing any more games.
You just come in and leave. You play 2 hours and you're out.
Okay.
Yeah. A 2-hour show on Monday night.
Yeah, all right. I can do Monday night. I can do that.
Yeah,
Hit me up via email. Wayne@dungeonk.com. Hit me up.
I got
Eric.
it. I already got you.
You got me, right? All right.
Take care, dude.
Go eat.
Also,
See you, dude.
bounce.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you to our emergency off.
Yes, guys.
We are actually going to wrap up our stream here because we have been going for 4 hours, guys.
Oh, we're up.
There you go.
Jeez,
there it is.
Holy shit. Wow.
Okay.
At your table.
What type of pay I am I?
Screenshot it.
Cool. Right. So,
thank you.
Did you say we're wrapping up?
We are wrapping up there. We have been going live for 4 hours. For those of you who didn't miss it, you can still watch it on Twitch when we finish. Steve, you know what to do. Let's push the button now.
Let's push the button.
And we are going to run the Avernus promo, and we will see you again.
Yeah.
For everyone in Zoom, we can keep on talking.
Should we do some dino racing?
we can keep on talking, and let's see what happens.
The world wrought with demons. Going to hell is the only way to get redemption. 5 adventures, 1 mission. This spring, join us as we descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. Action, fire, brimstone. If you make a deal with the devil, you better be prepared to dance. Band of Badgers, Descent into Avernus, coming this May.